the benefits of Inspired Disorder Plus. So you go inspireddisorder.com/plus. Sign up, $5 a month. You get to binge the full week of the Ray Taylor Show ad-free. You get to watch all of the live painting videos I do. You get a special members-only discount and deals for all of the artwork and merch that I sell. You also get the complete podcast back catalog of every podcast I've ever produced, hundreds of episodes, countless different podcasts. You also get access to my personal blog. A new blog comes out every week. In addition to that, you get my creative writing that I'm releasing. You also get access to asking me anything. 14 years of experience podcasting. I've been creating art my entire life. I've been using Photoshop since middle school, and you can contact me to ask me questions about that or anything else. So those are the benefits for signing up for Inspired Disorder Plus.
This is a HeadGum podcast.
Welcome to All Fantasy Everything, the podcast that fantasy drafts the entire world and everything in it. Today we're drafting the 20th century with our guest, podcaster, writer, gentleman of the world, traveler of the world, Zach Harper. I'm your host, Ian Carmel. With me as always are my friends, Sean Jordan and David Boyes. Let's get into it. Welcome to another brand new episode of All Fantasy Everything, the podcast that bought a one-way ticket to Tokyo. He's going.
Like a Journey song or something.
Yeah. One-way ticket to Tokyo.
What prompted it? Were you just sitting? Like, I'm going to Tokyo.
I've always wanted to go to Tokyo. It's like been number one on my list after Scotland. Did Scotland in New Year's, so it's now number one on my list. And I've just been saying like, all right, I got to do it in September. I got to do it. If I don't do it, I'm gonna then go next year. I'm like, all right, well, when the off season comes, now I'm gonna do it. I can't keep putting it off. And so I'm just like, screw it. I got a credit.
Yes.
Dude, that's great.
You run out of next year's. Life starts happening.
Yeah, exactly. I'm 41 days from this, trying to start some shit.
We can cut this out. I just DM'd Harper. Say the horse, you coward.
Don't cut it out.
Don't cut that out. That's fine. No, that's fine. No, that's good.
Tokyo would be so. I mean, I want to go to Japan so bad.
Yeah.
Borders notwithstanding, I am a married man. But it feels so disconnected. It feels like the furthest away you could get from
Before you're coming back.
American culture. Maybe not the furthest, but so far.
It's my favorite cuisine too. Like I love Japanese food. Like, I really do. Like that is, if you could only pick one cuisine the rest of your life, you know,
Really?
because like I do love like other things I love almost as much, but then like you get into like, oh, it's not really healthy to eat all the time and everything. So like, but Japanese like it's very clean. There's a great variety to it, and I never get sick of it. I just never get sick. Like that is like I told you guys, like I just want to go eat whatever I find, get super drunk, go to a sumo match. Like if I can do that 4 times in the couple of weeks I'm there. And that's the other thing, like just decide like I don't know when I'm coming back. Just booking a one way. When I decide to come back, I come
That's
back.
so cool.
That's
Yeah.
cool. I've never done that. Also, it is hearing it again. If you live there and you were going to do what you just said you're going to do, that makes you such a deadbeat. But you're going on vacation to do it, and that's the best.
It's my bon vivant. It depends on how you
But
dress.
I guess it depends on how much money you got. If you live there.
You're real judgy on these other lifestyles.
What do you eat? Traveling, eating delicious food, and having a drink every now and then? I mean, for God's sake.
The traveling factors in part. I said if you live there, well, I'm not jealous, dude.
Oh,
You got one of those.
this asshole Ernest Hemingway? Is that what you're saying, bro?
I'm not jealous. I've never been jealous a day in my life. You probably got one of those stupid seats where you're gonna lay down the whole way there. I don't give a shit.
I do. I got
give a
an
shit.
upgraded seat big time. I'm going in comfort. I had an e-credit to apply, and it made the cost so easy.
Got to. What are all those miles for and not?
I had forgotten that I had skipped out on a flight a couple years ago, and that e-credit was still on the account.
Ooh, I love it when the e-credit's busted.
Yeah. That e-credit was more than half the ticket. I was like, well, that makes
There
it
it is.
easy. Yeah.
$600.
Listen, the vacation starts on the tarmac.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're
It
flying like
started in
that.
the Delta Lounge. Like, that's when it started.
I started a vacation in the Uber on the way to the airport. So
Yeah.
Once again, Sean, when you're driving to the airport, it's not called an Uber. Like when you're don't work there. Just gotta keep reminding you that.
But he is not unprofessional. We do have to point that out. Top 1% non-professional.
Non-professional.
yeah, I've never been paid. I do what's called free Uber, where I get drunk and drive people around.
Can I tell you what? I got YouTube TV to watch the NBA playoffs. Not a sponsor, but I kept it, and there's a channel that on MTV that just shows old videos,
Yeah.
but like old from like when we were, you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
it's like the late 90s, early 2000s era, and the video for "Crazy" by Britney Spears came on. You know who's in that?
Yeah.
Wembanyama.
Vinny Chase, dude.
Fucking Vinny Victor Wembanyama. 6'1".
Yeah.
Fucking Vinny Chase and Melissa Joan Hart just hanging out in the video.
It's for a movie called Drive Me Crazy that they were both in.
Oh shit, it was.
Yeah.
Hold on one second.
He's gotta go tell
He
Danny.
did it. Yeah,
He's gotta go tell Danny. It's like him and Danny got a huge fight over it. He's gotta go. I gotta go apologize.
What's Vincent Chase's real name? Adrian Grenier?
Adrian Grenier,
Yeah.
He was just on the Entourage podcast, and he's pretty solid, man. He's
So they just talk about Entourage?
kinda. They're
So
real.
it's kind of like this podcast?
Doug Ellen and Kevin Conley. They're kind of doing a rewatch, but it's a lot of Doug Ellen. The guy is very self-indulgent, Doug Ellen.
Which
So
one is Doug Ellen?
He's the creator. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin Connolly is E, right?
Kevin Conley's E.
Saw him at Dan Tana's a few months ago.
Dude, they talk
On my
about
bad.
Dantana's
Yeah.
constantly on that podcast.
I'm going to
Constantly.
Going to
Look at Dantana's. It's a dig spot.
It's just a dope, like, old school Italian place in
Yeah.
West Hollywood. Like,
I like that.
the maitre d's and the waiters are just amazing. Like, they're just exactly what you would want someone from the 60s to be.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a great spot.
Mater D's and the waiter D's. Hold on, keep talking. The charger has disappeared from our office, and I gotta go find it. I'm on a mission. I'll be back.
Probably about that fight you guys had about
Yeah, drive me crazy.
about whether that was Adrian Grenier for fun or from a movie.
Yeah.
I don't know anything that he's been in.
He was in Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah.
Oh,
Other than that, though, I can't think of a ton of stuff. He was in a TV show not that long ago on Netflix. I don't know.
And he hasn't been in much post.
But he doesn't, he kind of just only needs to be from Entourage at this point, right?
Well, I wonder.
It seems like it.
You're probably set up. You think they're set? Like,
It was a cable show. But
Yeah, I guess I don't know how the cable residuals go, or how any residuals go at this point, you know? Topical.
they
Yeah,
made the
right.
movie.
I don't think
Yeah.
it's anywhere near network, though.
No.
No, it can't be. I mean, do they get like a cut of, you know, the DVD sales and stuff like that?
I don't know, because I feel like a lot of people bought those DVDs. I don't know, because it's...
That was one
Yeah.
of my biggest pain. One of the biggest pains was having to get rid of those. I wanted them so bad. I've got the whole set. I was that dickhead that had it like in order on the shelf, and I would like show people, be like, yeah, this is Entourage. I got
Yeah.
the sets, no thing. And then I sold them. I think I got $8 for the whole thing.
Why'd you sell them?
Because it was just a crate. Did you never go through that where you just had a crate of DVDs that I would go from place to place? And finally I was like, this is stupid, and I went and sold all of them. It was like all the Scrubs, all of Entourage, I don't know, 40 movies, all of Seinfeld, and I think I got it was like $24 for everything. Such a bummer.
I had 2 moving boxes full of DVDs that I just donated to Goodwill.
Yeah.
I think when I was moving away from Miami. I think that's when I did it. Because I was just like, I'm not going cross country with this shit. Like,
I think the Miami Goodwill is crazy.
It's gotta be.
see a lot of guys like, I thought this shirt would work. I think I got tricked by this.
It's just gonna simply be a pawn shop, right? Like a.
I actually could buy a gun at the Miami.
A lot of dudes like, I can't bring this shirt home because my wife's gonna ask why I wore this shirt.
Yeah.
I don't have a good reason for that.
No serial numbers on anything in Miami Goodwill.
There's a lot of guys in the back, but they're like, God damn, another porcelain Jaguar? Where are we going to put this?
Yeah.
We already have
The others.
16 porcelain Jaguars on the floor right now. We're not moving the porcelain Jaguars.
I will say, shout out to Goodwill, because that's the kind of good weird shit you can get when you're in there, where you're like,
Yeah.
oh, whoa,
Yeah.
this is crazy. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, we were so broke, knowing the difference between the good Goodwills and the bad Goodwills. Like, that Goodwill's beat. This Goodwill,
Yeah.
solid.
There's parts in town, you go to the Happy Valley Goodwill or like the Lake O Goodwill, if they even got one, you're gonna get decent stuff. You go, I don't know, the Northwest Goodwill, for example, nada.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Right.
Sick
Yeah.
holes in
Gordon
your
told me
new
he
button.
dropped off. Gordon told me he dropped off like when he moved back to England, like 10 bags of clothes, garbage bags full of clothes. So like what I imagine was the Bel Air Goodwill. So at that Goodwill, you can just go in there and find a bunch of fucking Gucci shit. I'm sure.
Oh, no, I mean, people know. People
Yeah.
know.
The Bel Air Goodwill is just called Nordstrom. That's what that's
They just gave a bunch of clothes to Nordstrom.
You just drop it.
Is that it?
to the
Is this
floor.
how this works?
Yes.
You can move this, right?
Bringing them into an actual store. Here you go, here's my clothing that I don't want.
Here you are. That man
that
was
was-
flawless.
Yeah.
That was James Corden.
That was
He dropped in for a second to do it. It wasn't Sean. There he is.
No, Ian, it doesn't work.
Flawless. It's a flawless accent. The man is Sean at Jordan on Twitter. Sean Cougar Melon Jordan on Instagram. Sean backwards hat, but tight, dude.
Yeah, and I shave, man, too. I'm all wild today because we're recording later. Minneapolis, Minnesota, August 18th and 19th, Comedy Corner Underground. Please come out. Seattle, I'm going to be there September 6th at the Comedy Bar on Capitol Hill. 2 times ago, nobody showed up, so please come. And the last time...
Yeah, but what about last time?
Last time ruled, but I don't like the venue anymore, so...
I'm not sure anyone's coming to this, dude.
That'd be real tight. Prove me wrong, man. It'd be tight. September 6th,
I'm
take
not
a mix up.
I'm not gonna be there. I won't
You know
be
what I'd
there.
like you to come to, Harper? October
It's
29th.
balls.
Your wedding? Oh, no, I wasn't invited.
Oh, was invited to mine. Did?
Shut your turn straight up.
David Boring, send me the time. His name is David Boring. Cool Guy Jokes 87 on Instagram. Sean doesn't get to promote his last thing because he got space ripped off so hard. David Boring's here.
I'm sweating.
Hey, I'm gonna run down all the cities again for you so you know.
Let's hear 'em.
Birmingham, Alabama, Asheville, North Carolina, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Chattanooga, Tennessee, Raleigh, North Carolina, Nashville, Tennessee, Austin, Texas, Denver, Colorado, Indianapolis, Indiana, Morgantown, West Virginia, St. Louis, Missouri, New York City, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Minneapolis, Minnesota, and Worcester, Massachusetts. Aluminum foil tour. BringDavidAplate.com, BRINGA, the rest of it, I don't want to spell it all out. Come out. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really happy with the material. And then, you know, Bay Area, who knows? Maybe I'll do some type of a special recording there.
David
in
says he's gonna
November.
swim to Alcatraz.
I'm going to, yeah.
I'll probably see you swimming back.
They're
I'll
going
already
to
be
take
there.
me swimming to Alcatraz.
That's where I stay when I'm in the Bay Area.
Because it's easy. It's easy access. It's easy
Yeah.
beach access.
Can we cut this out? Harper, you know that I feel bad about that, and I will forever. Just so I'm looking at you,
Is this
Harper.
back on the record?
It's back on the, yes, this could be on the record. I
We are,
honestly did.
just in case any listeners sort of like went and did some other stuff, we are now talking about how Sean Jordan did not invite great friend and one-time colleague Zach Harper to his wedding.
I wouldn't lie to you. I didn't mean to not. I honestly
Well,
spaced
I've been on 100 of these AFEs or something.
140,
You know?
143.
Some people would say I
Yeah.
accept your apology, but some people make me keep going. I'll keep going. I just can't have you thinking that I really did that.
Yeah.
Like on purpose. I mean, I did
Isaac's
really not
so
invite you.
Isaac's in the chat saying I wasn't invited to either of your weddings. Isaac, I'll happily address that. We weren't that close yet, but we have grown much closer.
Yeah, it wasn't like how Sean and I are close. It wasn't like that. It wasn't one of those situations.
Yeah. And to cut off at the head, I I'm married to the game like to 94 before I
Yeah, we
I
remember
don't know how many texts you want to get today. I don't know how many, like, I'll tell your dad that I meant to invite you.
You know
We
what?
talk on
Funny.
Instagram constantly.
He
So,
got invited, by the way. Bill Harper got an invite.
My dad got an invite, yeah. It was just your plus one can't be your son. That's what was on the invitation.
me and Bill Harper are on Instagram every day talking. So,
Check this out. At the time of
You
this,
just sent me something, and I haven't opened it, but the message says, I think it's like, now that's a kite.
dude, I'll tell you, I know I've told you this before, but every time he hits me, I go, where are you getting all these videos? And he goes, the internet. I was like, damn. You're right.
at the time of this recording, he and my mom are headed here to LA. First time my dad has visited LA since I moved here.
Ooh, you can find him on the Sunset Strip.
Yeah.
Tearing out the Rainbow Room.
That's why we're going to Dantana's tonight, you know?
Dantana? Oh, that's going to be
It does
great.
say best
Yeah.
kite I've seen.
That sounds like a message from my dad.
And to put a bow on this entire conversation, I think if I was putting the wedding together, if it was this September, you would be on the first list. You wouldn't even have to look it up.
Thank you. Sean, I produced the song for you. Where was my invite for that?
That's a great question.
A lot of good questions right now.
What did I do to you guys besides not invite you to my wedding? You know that I'm like shakingly nervous right now.
I love you. I was in Korea, by the way, so like I couldn't have gone anyway.
I had no plans. I was here. Hanging out.
You're scared of my picks. That's what's happening. You're trying to shake me before the game. It's working, by the way.
I just want to say, there's not even a forgiveness.
I'm shook.
Mistakes happen. Like, there's no need to forgive. There's no need to apologize. But yeah, I wasn't home alone.
There is a need to throw a second wedding and invite Zach, though.
I'll go to the
which
next
is
one.
what we're, yeah.
Get you on the rebound.
Yeah.
You can marry Laura again. You don't have to end your relationship with her, but there does need to be a
No.
second wedding.
If you're gonna do a second wedding, you have to, and you gotta get a divorce, a legal divorce, and then remarry.
The man has his terms.
Oh, that ring came off.
Comes off pretty easy.
You don't want
I wouldn't phrase it like that. My name is Ian Carmel, at Ian Carmel on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, anywhere you want to see me, baby. No longer on television, which means I am all up in your cities doing stand-up comedy. Portland, Oregon. Myself, Sean Jordan, Kyle Kinane, Shane Brendan, and Imani will be doing a benefit show for the Crayon Kids August 15th at the Star Theater. Crayon Kids Musical Theater Company.
It just does sound derogatory whenever you say it. Now that you put that in my head, it always sounds like, I don't know,
Bunch of damn Crayon Kids. So we're going to be doing they lost the rehearsal space. We're going to be raising money so they can continue to teach kids theater. Yeah, you know, it's a good cause. And then, God, for the love of God, you can come see Sean Jordan and I in Vancouver, British Columbia, November 30th through December 2nd. I will be in Austin, Texas, at the Vulcan Gas Company, December 8th and 9th. Exclamation point for Hanukkah. Come see me slanging very Jewish material. Very Jewish. And then more dates to come. Oh, we'll all be at High Plains, of course. We'll be at the High Plains Comedy Festival doing this podcast.
We probably say it. We have 2 live AFPs. If we can't say that, I guess I said it. But so yeah, it'll be dank. And then we get to curate a stand-up show.
It's going to be fantastic.
We can.
Can't say it. You ruined it. That was ruined it.
Now they're not going to let
Man,
us
I'm
do it.
having a rough day. I thought I was doing well until I started having a bad day just now.
It's a bad day, dude.
I'm not having a bad day. I just feel bad now. I've done like 4 things wrong.
I feel bad.
You haven't done anything.
We're having a silly time being silly guys. Zach Harper is here. At Talk Hoops on Twitter. What is it on Instagram?
At Talk Hoops.
At
Across
Talk
all
Hoops across platform.
Venmo, TikTok, all that.
NBA 2K.
NBA
At Talk
2K.
Hoops.
Yeah.
Everywhere, baby. I imagine on some Reddit beard care forums every now and then.
Probably that too.
Yeah, probably.
Almost got pressured into shaving into a mustache.
Well, okay. I mean, I didn't like the first part of that sentence, but I really like the second.
You should shave it into like D'Artagnan. Like you should have a pointy goatee, like a musketeer. I bet you'd look really good like that.
I bet I wouldn't. I bet I really wouldn't.
In case the listeners haven't seen Zach in person, the beard
It's
is
a
lush.
jet black full beard.
It is
Beard's
lush.
Well, no, there's a lot of gray on the chin.
Oh, there is it.
No, there is. Like, you see it, there's a lot of gray. There's a lot of gray on the sides of my hair. But, you know, that liquid collagen that I'm peddling helps the hair.
It's good. It's good.
Absolutely.
You're doing great.
People can listen to you, and I believe, and I've had it written down here, so I don't mess it up. It's the Cinephile Podcast.
No. cinephobe.
Pedophile. It was the pedophile.
Pedophile podcast.
Yeah, hate kids. Yeah,
How do you feel about trans kids?
So this is a test that I have for if something sounds offensive.
Yeah.
Is you just plug it into this sentence. Oh, my daughter's dating one of those trans kids. And if that sounds offensive, then it's offensive. Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what I worry about. So I do that whenever I'm like, is that word problematic? Is it racist? Is it...
Should I be saying it? Yeah.
Yeah, I never know, so I plug into that sentence, and if it doesn't feel right, then that's where I am. My dog's also very upset about this.
Is it my dog? My dog is dating one of those trans kids. Maybe that's what he thought you heard you say.
Yeah, maybe you thought that. Yeah.
We're so Cinephobe. It's a podcast. You guys
Podcast.
haven't released any episodes yet. It's coming out soon, right? Is that what?
We're coming up on our 200th episode. So
Yeah,
that's
I'm sorry I messed that up. I'm sorry I messed that up too. I'm sorry I messed that up too.
This dog is
Only one of your feet hurts?
just one. Yeah, well, I lost the other one. Yeah.
And it's you and Jeff Van Gundy, right?
It's me and Jeff Van Gundy, and we only watched the movie Eddie.
That's a good way to be.
Yeah. It's Amin Al-Hassan, it's Anthony Mays, and we do movies that are 40% or lower on Rotten Tomatoes. Try to ascertain if they're actually bad movies or maybe they didn't get a fair shake. It's Cinephobe wherever you get podcasts. How about that?
Beautiful.
We're doing this thing this year, real quick, where it's called the Daisy Chain. And so the next movie has to feature, or not even feature, just has to have someone from the previous movie we did.
Oh,
Link.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's fun.
We did Theme Months last year, and now we're doing the Daisy Chain.
What was the last movie, or you can't say yet?
Well, as of today, we dropped, this recording, we dropped Men in Black 2.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Which was after the
A lot
bye-bye.
of places to go after that.
Yeah, and it could be any little bit
Oh,
part.
well, when does this come out?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Oh, so then we went from Men in Black 2 to Congo.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Congo, nice. You can also check out his writings at The Athletic.
Yeah. And
And,
I do one of the only free things at The Athletic,
Yeah.
which is the Bounce, the newsletter. TheAthletic.com/The Bounce. It's one of the few things we do for free. It's well, now we're in the off season, so it's every Tuesday and Friday. But it's just a cool little email you'll get at around 10 a.m. Eastern.
There you go.
Every single morning in the regular season.
7 a.m. Pacific for those of you.
That's true. Yeah.
Feet pics and all of them too, right? You're doing feet
It's
pics
nothing
during the
but
off-season?
player feet and my feet. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's all
it's great.
it is.
It's great. And you can look for him on the streets of Tokyo. We're gathered here today not only to talk about fabulous newsletters on basketball, where if you like the sport at all, you can get yourself involved in that, but also to fantasy draft, and this was Zach Harper's idea, the 20th century.
It's wild.
This is great. I mean, and anything that happened in the 20th century, anything that came out of the 20th century, it's on the table, and we're going to be
Most
drafting
wide
it.
open shit.
Yeah.
Probably ever.
I got
I
a
love
really
it.
weird list of things I want to get in this.
Mine is insane.
Yeah.
Mine is so boring, actually.
Yeah, I don't think mine's crazy.
Mine's not crazy at all.
Yeah.
We'll get into it.
We'll get into
we'll
it.
talk about
We'll
it.
get into it. We'll let the picks do the talking, and the way we determine the order of this draft is through a rollicking game of rock, paper, scissors, played between the three of you, and we throw on shoot. Here we go. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. David wins.
Unnatural victory. No,
Unnatural.
natural.
Rock against two scissors. David, as the winner of rock, paper, scissors, it is incumbent upon you to determine the order of today's draft. But before you do that, I will remind you it is a serpentine draft.
And what is that?
That's a great question.
Coming up on his last legs. Now that he had stopped doing the Jewish app bit. But anyway, it's like going through security at the airport. I actually thought of a new one today. Like, you go down to the end, you turn a little bit, you go up, and then you go all the way down to the other end. You go up a little bit, all the way back down, or up a little bit, all the way back down, as sort of like a snake would slip.
Now let me tell you something. Just because I've stopped doing the Jewish app bit, if you think for a second you're getting out of this serpentine thing, you got another fucking thing coming.
Well, I'm gonna keep doing the serpentine thing, but then I'm gonna start doing the Jewish app thing. Can I do that?
Should we flip?
It sounded offensive. I
I mean, can you tell if he froze or if he's doing a bit?
My daughter's dating one of these Jewish apps. Yeah, no, it doesn't work.
Oh, it's great. I didn't know he was Ian was frozen there for me, so he was just pointing the whole time. I thought he was
Yeah,
holding
I thought
it.
you were
Yeah,
doing
that's
a bit.
it.
I wish I was. I was frozen. I might have done it anyway.
Yeah.
You start doing the Jewish app thing, and I will start doing the serpent thing, even though it doesn't pass the daughter test. So David, basically what it means is you pick fourth in the first round, you pick first in the second round. With that in mind, what will the order of today's draft of the 20th century be?
I gotta take Zach Harper first because I want to hear it so bad.
I do too. I want to hear what's
Zach,
happening.
me, Sean, Ian.
Zach, David, Sean, Ian. Hot corner. Harper, you have the first pick in the topic you selected, the 20th century. We're going to get to that first pick right after this short break.
This episode of All Fantasy Everything is brought to you by Liquid IV. Now listen, being hydrated, it's important for everybody. A lot of people think that if you're not training for like a marathon or some sort of championship situation, that you don't need to be out there being hydrated. That's just false. It is not true, and we are here to spread that knowledge. It's just about daily maintenance. You know, you have to take care of yourself. It could just be for an old dude who wants to go to the skate park, and it happens to be a gentleman's 85 degrees out. I was pouring sweat all day. I need to hydrate, and Liquid IV will get you there in a hurry. Believe when I say it's proper functional hydration is essential. Liquid IV is the #1 powered hydration brand in America, hands down. Their hydration multiplier is the product that you're missing in your daily routine. If you haven't gotten down, get down. Seriously, with just one stick, you can hydrate real life 2 times faster than water alone, so it's going to help you out. You get the essential vitamins, you get 3 times the electrolytes as leading sports drinks, and also, like, they're not all that great for you. A lot of people think sports drinks are the way to go, but if you could just have this, mix it with water, you're golden. I mean, honestly, it's like the simplest thing. You just take your water bottle, sprinkle it in there. The packaging is so convenient. It fits into any bag, you can throw some in your glove box, in the middle of your car. I always bring them on the road. Every single time I travel, I'm going to Sacramento tomorrow, I will be bringing them with me, a whole pack. And that leads me to the next thing I want to talk about are the flavors. I just did that snappy thing with my fingers if you couldn't hear it. They got sea berry. Come on, where are we going? Strawberry lemonade, my favorite, Concord grape, tropical punch. They got them all. Watermelon, strawberry. I mean, what are we doing? It's good for you. It tastes good. It's not just blowing smoke. It actually does. It's a great way to go. One stick, like I said, of Liquid IV and 16 ounces of water hydrates you 2 times faster and more efficiently than water alone. It's got 5 essential vitamins. It's got your B3, your B5, your B6, your B12, and your C. Made with quality ingredients. It checks all the boxes. And also, Liquid IV trying to push things forward. They partner with leading organizations to fund and foster innovative solutions that help communities protect both their water and their futures. So it's good all around. Real people, real flavor, real hydrating. Grab your Liquid IV in bulk nationwide at Costco, or you can get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code ALLFANTASY at checkout. That's 20% off anything when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code ALLFANTASY at liquidiv.com. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Listen, if you're anything like me, you're uncertain almost all the time in life. You don't know what's going to happen. You're worried about what's going to happen. You're worried about work a year from now, 5 years from now, a week from now. I mean, there's constantly something that you're going to be faced with that's stressful, that causes you anxiety. And if that's not happening, holy buckets, more power to you. But for most of us, I think it is. You're gonna have tough choices. Not always clear what you got to do. There's moving, there's job transfers, there's relationship issues, there's buying a house, huge financial decisions, all that stuff. And no matter what you're dealing with, trusting yourself to make the right decisions that align with your values, like anything, the more you practice it, the easier it's going to get. Everything that I've done in the last few years, and I can speak for all of us, everyone on the show, we've all made huge life changes, huge decisions. We've moved, bought houses, got married, all kinds of things. It's all tough, it's all stressful, and when you have somebody to walk you through that, lead you down the path, it's just going to empower you to be the best version of yourself that you can. You learn how to set boundaries. It doesn't just have to be with major trauma. It can be anything that you deem worthy. It's your life, so it's all perspective. And if somebody tells you that your problems aren't problems, they have no idea what they're talking about. Tell them to take a flying leap. If you are thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online. It's designed to be convenient. It's flexible, suited to your schedule, because obviously everybody has crazy schedules. There's no getting around it. You just fill out a brief questionnaire. You get matched with a licensed therapist. You can switch at any time for no additional charge, because they want you to benefit. That's the whole point. They want you to benefit, so give it a try. There's no reason not to. Let therapy be your map with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/allfantasy today to get 10% off your first month. Again, that's betterhelp.com/allfantasy.
Yeah, we're back. Welcome back to All Fantasy Everything, the only podcast that has ever existed, except for, of course, coming soon, Cinephobe, which will be launching its inaugural episode, I think, in October of 2024. We're very excited for that. Very excited for that.
Yeah.
Another podcast getting in the game.
Yeah.
The first real at-bat coming up.
Getting in the game about a year from October, so you guys can check that out. I think it's only on Stitcher. All right. Zach, it's your first pick.
Which I don't think it's a thing anymore, actually. I think Stitcher went away.
Well, that's bad news. That's bad news for your podcast.
You guys should have thought before you thought it.
So quit me.
All right. This stemmed from.
Listen on a Zoom.
This stemmed from. We have a thing on Cinephobe in our nearly 200 practice episodes so far, called the 20th Century Bitch, and this is something that originated in our Last Action Hero episode, in which there was something that like where they were like checking out movie times in the newspaper, and they're like circling, right? We're like, that doesn't happen anymore. Like, that's some 20th century shit. And so that's where the 20th century idea came from. And I couldn't pass up the number one 20th century moment, item, occurrence that I could think of. This was something from September 22nd, 1986 to March 24th, 1990. It was one of the biggest things you'll ever experience. You may know it as something called alien life form. I know it as ALF.
Wow.
That's what ALF stands for?
Yeah. Did he eat dogs or cats?
He ate cats.
Cats.
He just absolutely ate cats.
The original Tanner family, no offense to the Full House folks.
Oh, shit. No, I was thinking of the Connors. Yeah, you're right. The Tanners are Full House.
Yeah. But this is the original Tanner family. He's from Melmac.
He's from Melmac.
Yeah. Melmac. Yeah. ALF is just the quintessential 20th century moment.
Here, can I try this real quick? My daughter's dating one of those cat eaters from Melmac.
No,
Does that
not
work?
good.
No?
Not good. Yeah, that's
Not
tough.
good. The from Melmac helps it. If you just said cat eaters, that would make it.
Cat eaters. Yeah.
Expected us to know what it was.
Yeah, you're like, is that a
Giving you a
Portuguese
little
guy?
elbow, like,
What is that?
You know, they wear those little hats. That's the next racist thing.
You know, I never watched that much ALF.
What?
I mean, I
It was
know,
so good.
but
I
I
just
never.
need to point out everything from the 20th century was on the table, and you took ALF first.
Yeah,
That's why I asked him to go first. He's a wild guy.
Trying to get a heat check.
No, heat check. It's hot.
No, I know.
No.
I knew what this was.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just. It's a silly check.
This is gonna be my most boring draft today.
The man is a wisecracking puppet who eats cats.
Do you know what his
smile?
Do you know his name? Like his character name?
Is it Alonzo?
Gordon Shumway.
Gordon
That's Alf's
Shumway?
name?
Gordon Shumway is an alien from the planet Melmac who follows an amateur radio signal to Earth and crash lands in the garage of the Tanners. Gordon Shumway.
Shumway?
Yeah.
Polish?
Someway, a Polish guy invented this cartoon, huh?
Right here in the beautiful San Fernando Valley. How about that?
More than 100 episodes.
So what were the dates?
100 episodes of ALF.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
1986 to 1990.
So I was 5 to 10. Yeah, I don't know how I missed it. It was kind of right there for
It
me.
was incredible. What an incredible show.
People used to watch TV, man. It was like the 28th ranked show in 1986, and it's still got a 16.5 rating, which is, nobody gets that anymore. Football barely gets that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, ratings are so right. Like if you get
If we got above a 1, we were celebrating.
yeah, people. I mean, they used to get like millions and millions of viewers, and now you'd be happy like if you got actual viewers. Like if you got 1 million, you'd be thrilled, right?
That's right. Holy shit! So wait, 1 year it tied with Monday Night Football for the biggest show on TV.
What?
Did I freeze?
Yeah,
A little bit.
gross.
The points don't mean a million, do they? Like 16 doesn't mean 16 million viewers, does it?
I don't know how.
Yes.
I don't think anybody knows.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
Dana, I've got new information about Drive Me Crazy. It just came to me.
No, it was 16.2, dude.
So if that's what I'm so like a TV show used to get 16 million viewers per session, and now they don't get anywhere near that, right? Because people just stream it, and you can't really track. Do they? I'm sure they track the metrics on streaming at Netflix and shit. They have to,
But they don't
somehow.
share them because
Yeah,
then they'd have
because they don't have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then they got to pay them. That's why it's trying. Sure.
In 1987 to 1988, it had an 18.8 rating, which tied it with the Wonder Years. And then the next year, it was tied with the Monday Night Football.
See, now the Wonder Years of Monday Night Football, I was watching a lot of Monday Night. My God. We used to get out of practice early because even the coach was like, you can't miss the song. There's no point to watching the game if you miss the song.
Did you do the splits to get out early?
I would have had to stay late. I did the splits exactly one time.
That's my
and
favorite story, dude. It's my absolute favorite.
I never really played football again after that. I showed up, but it never really.
Yeah.
You found the love of your life, though.
I did. I found skateboarding.
The splits for the strangers.
Man, they were not cool about it. I'll tell you that.
That's a tough one. That's got to be a tough one, man.
The coaches were. Oh, I'd love to. I've seen a couple of those kids since then, and one of them apologized. A couple of them are like still absolute pricks, but like I can tolerate them now because I'm a grown up and like we exist in the same world because I have a little confidence. But I'd love to see the coaches because they're probably 70 by now. I'm sure they remember it.
They would have to.
Oh, such a
They
bummer.
never
Y'all talking about health?
time.
Yeah, we're talking about Sean doing the splits at football practice.
yes.
One of my
We got around to it.
One of my favorites ever, Carla Gugino, was a supporting character. Yeah, I'm in love with her. I am so.
I don't think anyone else is hot now because I'm married, but
Well, yeah.
that was the one.
Carla, who?
Carla Gugino.
She plays Amanda Daniels in Entourage, Vince's second manager. She's in
Oh,
Sin
yeah, of
City.
course. Vince's second manager.
She's in.
She's in Sin City. She's in a ton of stuff.
Yeah,
She's in
Son-in-Law.
San Andreas.
Andrea, she's
The wife in San Andreas. Oh yeah, she's the girlfriend in Son-in-Law, right? The Kelly Kapowski's girlfriend. Man, I know a little more about Carla Gugino than I thought.
Sounds like you know a lot about her.
Is it Gugino or Gugino? Gugino.
I think it's Gugino.
Gugino would sound great. That sounds crazy.
It's Gugino. It's my buddy Gugino, dude. He's a Jewish Italian.
Gugino?
Yeah.
He works at that falafel pizza place, right?
Yeah, Gugino, dude. He's the first guy to put pastrami in a knish. He's fucking off the chain. Yeah. Prosciutto in a knish. Sorry, that's the joke. He's the first guy to put prosciutto in a knish.
Gugino.
Yeah. Gugino, dude. Gugino go to the pizza bagel. Come on, stay in the time.
There it is. There it is. Pizza bagel. We
So
found
one
it.
of your convention was never made.
I'm saying pigs now.
Oh, you're saying pigs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't we put this one on this one? They're like, you're crazy, Gugino.
You did it again, Gugino. Get out of here, Gugino.
My daughter's dating one of those Guginos. It doesn't sound good, right?
Well,
Also does not pass.
How about this? My daughter's dating a pizza bagel. That sounds all right.
It weirdly still sounds bad.
That sounds worse than
Yeah, that
Gugino.
sounds worse. Yeah.
At least Gugino, he's saying Jew.
This is just
Yeah,
me
one of the
saying.
pizza bagels.
Yeah.
You mean a Gugino?
He's not making anybody guess what he means, you know what I mean?
Better than one of those curry salsas.
Oh my God.
David, tell me your first pick.
Yeah. Alf, and then also air travel.
Oh, flight.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
No, of
Yeah.
course.
It's just like, it's made the world so accessible that even interstate, like, we shit on Spirit, but those flights are all full and people are able to get across across the country for $100. That's amazing.
Yeah. 5 hours.
9 hours later than they wanted, but it's still like amazing.
It was what, a 12-week journey before?
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
what
you
every
made it.
time.
Yeah. Did you make it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't get like typhoid on the way. Every time my flight gets delayed, I make myself think that like, well, I still get to fly through the sky, and it's amazing, and it's fun, and I'm scared of it. It's still fun. Let me ask you this: you think? Well, I don't. No, never mind. I'll ask you later.
No.
Yeah, I'll ask you later.
Okay,
We might talk about my question, so it'll come up naturally.
All right.
Yeah, sorry. What did you just say no to before I asked?
I thought you were backing out of something. I wanted you in. Whatever it was, I want it. If we do it later, that's fine. But whatever you were going to say, I want to hear it. For every reason.
Yeah, like my foreign films list yesterday.
Yeah.
What about Robin Hood? Or
That's a
Braveheart?
foreign film. That works. No, that counts.
Does
See,
Braveheart
that's why
count?
we could have Zach here.
Yeah,
See?
it's Scotland.
I'm saying. Braveheart should have
I'm about to
counted.
launch a movie podcast. I'm an expert.
What about,
Yeah.
hey Zach, would you count The Fifth Element as a foreign film?
Yeah. Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
it's in space, right?
It's in space. There's accents. 100%. If there's an accent in a movie, I consider it a foreign film.
That's a wild.
Like a New York accent, even?
Yeah.
What if it's a Gugino accent?
Look, if someone sounds like a pizza bagel, it's a foreign film, right?
I can never tell what they're saying.
Well, they never say what they mean. It's always
Yeah.
coded.
What's the longest flight you've been on? All of you. Well, Zach, you've been to Australia.
Yeah, I've been to Australia.
In
But
one
you
shot.
have to been on some long flights. Hey, you've been on some long flights, right?
Yeah, about 12 hours.
I've done some like 14-hour flight, like to Paris was I think 14 hours, something like that.
That sounds right.
Is that the
Yeah.
info you're looking for there?
Yeah, kind of. It's just crazy because you can fly over the ocean. I mean, you would have had to fucking, you would have had to swim before.
You would
I
have
got a real
taken
problem.
years.
I got a real problem.
You would have had to swim with a
Yeah.
little floaty next to you.
Yeah. I have a real problem with jet streams. I've decided,
Oh,
like,
Yeah.
I just like,
Your daughter was dating a jet stream for a while?
I just
You're
like,
a jet stream, you're a jet stream
I just think the jet streams need to like get over themselves and stop being so withholding. Like sometimes they're good, but sometimes they literally push you back, and I'm not okay with it. Like I think I would be fine if all the jet streams were gone.
I mean, you're saying stuff that like once you can't take that back.
I can't think like that because if I'm in the air thinking about the jet stream pushing the plane back, it starts to freak me out because I get scared.
Don't either go to Australia or come back from it. I can't remember which way has the jet stream that makes it longer, but
Well,
yeah.
I'll be tossed when I do go to Australia for whatever reason I'm going for. I will be, yeah.
That flight is so long you can get drunk twice.
Oh,
Which
I
I will
have.
do.
Yeah.
Which I will do.
Yeah, I got real drunk twice. Fell
Yeah,
asleep,
that's
got up
cool.
sober, and got drunk again.
It's like 19 hours, right?
And I was like, I think it was like 15, maybe 16 hours. I can't remember. Somewhere in that range.
Yeah,
That's
they get ripped
Yeah,
up
they-
at the
they
airport,
subtract
get about
2
3
hours.
hours of flight, and then sleep for whatever, 6 hours, hop up, do it all again, baby.
I think I told you guys, but on one of the flights, I think it was coming back. This was back before like everyone had their own like video player, and you had like iPads and stuff like that. So there was like a one video player for the plane, and it broke, so it could only play the Chronicles of Narnia. On a loop. Well, by the third or fourth time, you start going real crazy.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing else to do. Like I wasn't on the internet.
I
Like
missed the one movie thing.
What?
I think it was fun when they had one big screen. I mean, I was only on a flight one time where that happened, but everybody had to watch the same thing. I think there's something funny about that. Like,
Well, funny, certainly
well,
not.
fun and bonding or whatever. It's like I'm not watching a movie to do research on the plane. Like, I just want to pass the time. If we all get to watch the same thing, it's kind of fun.
I don't agree with that at all. I'm sorry.
yeah, that's.
I hear you out, and I give you the space to feel
You just
where
use
you
David's
feel.
pick to fly to an island that no one else is
That
on.
doesn't make
You
any
know, like
sense.
nostalgic for washing boards too. You know what I mean? Like I just feel like people used to go to the river to do laundry.
It's not like we're all talking about, oh, did you see what's going on in Double Jeopardy? You know,
She killed a guy. She got. I wonder. There's no way that's true. You like do your time for a murder that you didn't commit, and then you can just go kill him? No way.
wait. Sorry, man. I gotta. Oh, that's not a pick, though. You're just saying Double Jeopardy's probably.
Yeah, I was talking about the movie Double Jeopardy.
Oh, yeah, I don't
Could be a
know.
pick.
1903, Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, the Wright brothers.
The Wright brothers.
Manned flights. Manned motored flights. It's crazy to think that we went from flight to, you know what I mean, like that flight on the beach to other things we were doing in less than a century.
Yo, it's like the permanent side. It changes. Like used to be, if you move to another country, you could very well not see your. You move across the world, you very well will not see your family ever again,
Ever.
or your homeland or anything like that. It's like
Even staying in the country back then. You could go to Oklahoma, set up a whole family, and just leave.
Yeah, way easier to be a deadbeat dad back then.
Way easier.
Well, I can't get back.
Yeah, you're just a merchant marine, just out there.
I was talking about this last night. I don't think this is a pick, but like just the sheer insanity of like being a relatively well-off person in LA in like the 20s and 30s, and you just be like, oh, my mistress, I gotta build her a house in the hills. So there, all right, here's $11. I'll build a house in the hills. Like you just whatever that cost back then, right? But like you could just do that so easily, and now like it's damn near impossible to even have a conversation about buying a house in the hills. Like
Let alone
mistress.
yeah.
They had the Homestead Act where they would give you 40 acres or something. If you had to do 5 things. You had to come here, you had to build a house, you had to teach a kid, you had to farm, like you had to grow your own food. 5 things you had to do. But they'd give you 40 acres of land if you did that, no matter what.
They give you 40 acres.
Well, yeah.
Now, you know, I think you're a brilliant person. You know what I mean? Some people think because, like, I think you're a very intelligent, brilliant person, Sean.
Because I hate reading. Yeah.
But, like, some people are like, he hates reading. They maybe think you're not as smart as you are. I happen to know for a fact that you're incredibly smart. Where are you pulling the Homestead Act from, dude?
I know. The movie Far and Away.
We went to the Oregon, so the end of the Oregon Trail is in Oregon City. We went to the museum a couple weeks ago with Max, and I just picked up some stuff. One of them was about the Homestead Act.
Hell yeah. Well, it's time for you to pick up your first pick.
The internet.
Good one. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, sorry to be so vanilla off top, but yeah.
I know what. Go on.
Like much like flight, it changed the whole. It just changed everything. It's insane what it did. There's not even really a way to quantify it. It's crazy to think about before the internet, like how. I guess how simple everything would have seemed, but also hard everything would have seemed at the same time.
I think it was a mistake.
What, the internet?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't love it.
I think it stopped us from learning.
It's tough to think about, like, I remember sending headshots. I remember sending in the mail a headshot, like with a
Dick
videotape.
pic is not a headshot. Just gotta have this conversation once a month.
Just to my aunt Lana and be like, what do you think about headshots? You think I'll get booked?
Send it to Van Dam's fan club. Hey man, I have a background in Taekwondo.
Man.
And a foreground in Taekwondo.
I remember we used to be in this fantasy wrestling league where you would mail stuff. Like, now they would just do it through, you would mail it. They'd mail you a little pamphlet, you'd fill it out like with your picks or whatever. You'd mail it back, and then they'd do fantasy matches and just mail you the results. Crazy.
Who's doing that? That's the.
Me and my buddy CJ were doing that. Oh, who's?
No, I mean, who's running it? That's the wild thing, is that commitment to, like,
Some dude in Wichita going to the post office like 3 times a week.
Yeah, it's just nuts. I mean,
I think, obviously it's monumental. It's completely world-shaping. I'm also worried that it might end the world. I've been watching the Terminator movies again. Uh-oh.
It's tough. Well, dude, that new Mission Impossible didn't do me any favors.
No,
I'm like,
they
wait a
didn't.
minute. Wait a minute.
I think the internet might be the last worst thing we do. We've done a lot of terrible things as a species. I mean, we'll do other, but like big, like where I'm like, oh, this might be what ends it.
Do you remember how like fun arguing used to be, like about anything, and now you have a disagreement with someone, like, I'll look it up. And if
I got to do it the other day.
Stop doing that. Like there's certain people where in my life where we've decided like not allowed to like look something up.
Yeah.
So I can say like Jerry Stackhouse averaged 39 points a game one year, and you can't be like, well, let me look that up. Like it doesn't count. Like you can't do that.
It was 41.
We said the other day, I said this, and it's one of those things I think I know, but I've never researched, that it's either Power of Love or Back in Time. Huey Lewis couldn't get on his greatest hits album because he didn't have the rights because of Back to the Future. And instead of kind of having fun talking about it for a minute, somebody started to look it up right away, and I was like, just don't look it up. Just don't
look it up.
Just
Trust
let's
it.
just
Me too.
let's just let it breathe, and who cares? And yeah, this was yesterday, and we still don't know because nobody looked it up, which is fine.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
I was in an argument with someone who was stumped about what they knew Eartha Kitt from, and I was like, oh, well, she was Catwoman, she's a singer, and I was like, nope, not that, nope, not that. No, I tried to work. It was weeks later, because not allowed to look it up. Weeks later, it came to her, and she said, oh, I know, it's from Ernest Scared Stupid. Okay, that's
What a hit movie.
and weeks later to that be resolved in that manner made the internet completely useless and
That's
unappealing to
satisfaction.
me. Yeah, that was satisfaction.
Entertainment was better. I mean, like, there was more now. The choice is amazing. Don't get me wrong. It is fucking amazing that I could go listen to any song by any artist that I've ever wanted to. Like, that is amazing.
It's also amazing that I can drink so much I pee the bed. I mean, what does that mean?
Everything is around all the time, and none of it has any value because of it.
I had an overnight guest do that once. Not that long, a few years ago, and that was a tough middle of the night.
It's such a weird wonder where you're like, is this
all of a
night?
sudden they're on the couch. I was like, I got up and I was like, what are you doing out here? Come back to bed. And I came back to bed and they went on where I was sleeping. So then I whatever. I laid down and I laid down when they were sleeping. I went, oh no, this is real wet.
I would want to get ahead of it. I'd be like, well, like, little wink, like, well, I don't want to sleep on my side of the bed anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't just leave it to you to find out.
I was cool about it though, as I'm sure you all expected.
Yeah. Well, what are you gonna do? I've never.
Yeah.
There's been a few situations, friends and otherwise, where like I've just.
And I really appreciate you not telling anybody that.
Not naming any names, but.
No, I mean, it's not like, if I walked in and saw somebody standing up pissing on the bed, then I'd be like, hey, I'd be a little ruder about it, but you're asleep, it's not your fault, it's all good.
Yeah.
So the internet, on one hand, you can watch a video of a kid after he goes to the dentist and he's still, coming out of anesthesia, and on the other hand, it may hasten the development of artificial intelligence that launches all the nukes and kills everyone.
No, you can't just actually take the plot of Terminator.
It's peace and balance.
I mean, yeah, that's a good.
Yeah,
Peace and balance.
it's not the reason you guys are friends, but it's the reason I'm friends with all you guys. It's the internet, so there are some good things.
That's true.
You're throwing friends around. Do you show me on your fridge where the invite to my wedding is, or is it not up there?
Oh, he's owning it.
Good if I wanted to.
He's owning it.
Now the truth comes out.
That's Sean Jordan's music.
Anyway, the internet, yeah.
Yeah,
The internet.
that's a good one.
I got the internet going nuts. Right. Time for my first and my second picks. With my first pick, I'm going to take penicillin.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one, yeah.
Heavy hitter. People used to die from infections all the time. All the time. It was probably one of the biggest, killers of people. And then in 1928, a chance event in Alexander Fleming's London laboratory changed the course of medicine forever.
Yeah, it was an accident, right?
Huh?
It was an accident, right?
Yeah, it was an accident. They accidentally invented penicillin. It was a bacteriologist. Alexander Fleming.
Of course it was.
That's not a job.
It's a job. It was a job, but much like a milkman and shoe horser. Accidentally.
Listen, those one-footers, I don't like that.
You can't just call someone a milkman anymore, okay? Like, that's not okay.
Sean, you're a bit of a milkman, right?
Stop, dude.
You're on wax? Not anymore.
He's a registered shoe horser.
He's a shoe horser. Yeah.
I did have to tell all my neighbors I was shoeing horses, like back in
It's a
Kentucky.
vibrant red
What are you in for? Shoe
Yeah,
horse.
what am I not in for?
So basically, some mold had called Penicillium notatum had contaminated his petri dishes, and it had inhibited the growth of staphylococci. So like staph. These fucking staphylococci. Oof. This used to be a fucking neighborhood. You could have a family in it.
But I was laughing because it had the word cock in it.
These staphylococci moved in. I would also get like red sauce on a staphylococci.
Well, that's when you have to see a bacteriologist.
That sounds like a job a
Yeah.
5-year-old learned the word bacteria, and then they're like, I want to be a bacteriologist when I grow up.
Yeah.
Penicillin. It was maybe the most. I mean, it's crazy to think that at one point that we just didn't have anything for that.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever had to have penicillin. Greg. What do you just have it for STDs is a big one, right? It gets rid of all the STDs.
No, but like any like bacterial infection, right? Yeah, like
after
it's
a
all-
surgery.
yeah.
So like if you have like bronchitis, they'll give you penicillin.
Yeah, staph infection, anything that's an infection.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's huge.
but most
How,
systems.
how did they find out? Because it was an how did they administer it to whoever? Like how did they find out it did anything?
They had to like purify it, which took another like 10 or 15 years of like intense science.
But if it was a mistake, why did they even look into the benefits of it? Am I asking the right question? Like how did they
Because
find out?
they were testing the bacteria, staphylococci.
Oh.
They were like trying to figure out how to solve it, and they noticed like because this mold had spread as
Understood.
like when they were gone over a break, and they were like, wait, it's inhibiting the growth of this bacteria.
Understood.
What is it about this? And then through a series of more experiments, turned it into penicillin.
Understandable.
Understandable. Understood. Number 2, my second pick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Hitler dying.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take that after Alf.
Yeah.
No, I had a very strong feeling.
He shot himself in the head. That's great. That's fucking awesome. Fucking idiot. You know, I hate Hitler. I don't think it's a controversial opinion at this point, even post 301.
It was Eagle's Nest or whatever was fin to be stormed, and then
Fin to
he
be
just
stormed.
burnt himself. It was like
Yeah.
Shawshank, right? Like he just Shawshanked himself.
The Russians were barking down.
That's sex with Andy Dufresne?
Yeah,
That's
that's how he died.
The move to Guantanamo. The Russians were knocking on his door. The Americans not far off. The Allied forces not far off either. And then he just fucking ended it. You fucking idiot. You fucking dork.
Yeah, what a nerd.
What a
What an
nerd.
absolute nerd.
It's just comeuppance. And this is a stand-in for comeuppance. I love comeuppance, and that man got his comeuppance. On every level. Evil, but then also stupid. Like, bit off way more than he could chew. You're gonna fight the Russians, too? You mook? What the fuck are you doing?
You love comeuppance. Now, I'm to understand the man who said that he would wait in the right lane and die a natural death before he let somebody else in on the
That's
26 West coming from Beaverton to Portland. 26
Yeah.
East, rather. You like comeuppance? I'm to understand?
That's 100% right. I would miss my own wedding to not let someone merge.
When we
like-
drafted it, you said you'd happily die a natural death but sitting in your car to not let somebody in.
I would die an actual. If I had an organ for transplanting in a cooler in the backseat of my car, and I knew there was like a child who needed it, I would still take an extra hour to not let somebody merge lane.
Yeah.
Now you said you'd miss your own wedding for it. I just wanted to like, that's not why I missed Sean's wedding. That was a lack of invite.
Light
Yeah.
traffic that day. We kind of
Yeah.
we toned down the amount of people that were invited to town that weekend.
Yeah, cheap
Just
flights.
to-
Like it was pretty lot of almost free hotels. Really.
Yeah, they went back.
Free ice cream.
Free ice cream.
Free ice cream, free candy. Yeah.
Sounds great.
It was a lousy wedding. It's all right.
Yeah, Hitler dying.
Was it not good? Hitler.
That's a good one.
Loved it. Sean Jordan, time for your second pick.
The first indoor shopping mall and then subsequent malls.
Malls, dude.
That's a good
talk us
one,
through
yeah.
it. When were malls invented?
Oh, I did look it up. It was early. It was in Edina, Minnesota. I remember. So I don't know if that had anything to do with mall rats, but let me look it up again. It should be on my recent searches, but let me just guess. I'm gonna say the 50s, late 50s.
It says Southdale Center is a shopping mall located in Edina, Minnesota, suburb of the Twin Cities. It was opened in 1956 and is one of the first and oldest fully enclosed, climate-controlled shopping mall in the United States of America.
Yeah. I don't know if that's the Mallrats Mall, but I've been to the mall in Edina, and it's the Mallrats Mall, so I think I've been to this mall. But I just love malls, man. I love a huge covered center of commerce. You can hang out. I went to the mall yesterday, and I saw some kids, some teenagers, sitting on a couch at a Nordstrom, or not a Nordstrom, a Macy's furniture store. You know how they have those like little one-offs of Macy's? They were just sitting on the couch, and I saw the dude that worked there just stink-eyeing him from 40 feet away, but what's he gonna say? It's like, you can sit on the couch. Oh, it just was tight. Malls just rule. Everything about it. I love everything about a mall.
It was designed to challenge the car-centric culture that was rising in the 1950s.
Driving from A to B to go shopping, man. Yeah.
Instead,
Take
knock it
me to the
all out
mall.
at once.
Give me the mall over Christmas. I'll eat. I'll get a coffee. I just love everything about the mall. I get my steps in at the mall when it's cold out. I go poke around. Now that the beige wave is fully back, I'm dying to buy a beige sweatshirt, and I haven't found the right one. I go to the mall once a week looking for a beige sweatshirt.
The beige wave?
You called it, by the way, David. David called it 3-4 years ago.
I think I was talking about the one in the 90s, but yeah, there was...
You were. I'm just saying, like, I never heard the beige wave before, and
Yeah,
now
I
it's
don't
fully
think-
beige wave.
I don't think it was a term.
Yeah, I'm saying you made it up.
Oh,
Coined.
yeah,
I should have said coined it.
I went to the mall yesterday and had a great time.
Oh man, it's never a disappointment.
Yeah.
You know, I'm never bummed. I'm
Worked
if
in the mall for
anything.
years.
See, I never worked at the mall.
Oh,
I
man.
always wanted to work at a mall, like Fast Times. I always wanted to do whatever teenage job. Now I can't because it's a little too high stakes.
Oh, it's so good, man. You flirt with the hostess at Johnny Rockets, get a discount to chili cheese fries.
Yeah.
On your lunch break, like, oh, what a time. Give a little head nod to the people at Hot Dog on Stick.
Where'd you work in the mall?
I worked at the Gap, I worked at the Raider
Yeah, you
Image,
did.
and I worked at Oakley.
I knew you worked at Oakley. I knew you worked at Oakley.
So
That's
so
right.
much
I bet you
useless sunglasses.
units
Dude,
at
I fucking dominated sales at Oakley.
You dropped that on us in Vegas that you worked at Oakley. That's
Yeah.
right.
I would have loved to have seen that. I would love to see a highlight reel.
It was great, and we talked about this on Cinefolk's practice episodes. But they were trying to be
October 2024.
They were trying to be so different. So like they told us when someone walks in, you greet them with "Hi, how the fuck you doing?"
No,
And they're
they
like,
did not
yes,
tell you
I
that.
swear to God, that's part of the training. And they were like, "Oh, what have some fun in here? Like, get some like sports equipment." So like, I would just dribble a basketball around the cases and stuff, and like we had like Nerf footballs, we had all kinds of shit that we would just do to like pass the time.
You would have got your hooks in me.
Dude, I know so much useless information about sunglasses, sunglass technology, just everything that has never left me.
You know, they still make those aviators from Maverick. If anyone out there still works at Oakley and you get a discount, hit me up. I want to get them, but they're like $200. I can't justify
I
that.
used to. This was the thing of how you also run the mall. Is
How many
we
shoes
got
do you have in your garage?
I have a lot of pairs of shoes in the garage.
No aviators, though.
no aviators.
The ones you wear every day.
75% off. 75% off. But we had a limited number of sunglasses that we could buy every year. But 75% off.
60.
I think it was around. I think it was either 16 or 20 pair a year.
Damn, that's a lot of
So you get towards the end of the year and you're like, I got 5 pairs left. If anybody wants to,
Did you ever have
wants to
wraparounds?
make a deal here.
Ever have wraparounds?
I never had them, but we have them for sure. Of course, we sold a lot. We sold
You ever
a
get the
lot.
thuds? The thumps? What were
The
they called?
thumbs? Oh, dude,
Yeah.
I was there when the thumb came out. It
What are
was
they
a
called?
party.
What are
Oh
those?
my
It
god.
was a party.
I met little John because of the Oakleys. Like, because he was sponsored by us. Shane Battier had a basketball shoe from Oakley.
Wait, what?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Shane,
That
the
was-
weird Ed Battier had a basketball shoe?
basketball
What?
shoe. Yeah.
From Oakley, from a sunglass brand? How? That's sold three, right?
Well, I had one of them, so at least 4.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So sick.
Sean, the thumbs to the Oakleys that had headphones built in them, dude.
Yep. They had a little MP3 player in there.
Why did those go away? I gotta ask.
Because
Too
AirPods.
powerful?
iPhones, AirPods, like, yeah.
They were too powerful. They made the wearer too powerful, and it threatened.
Pretty good quality of speakers at the time. Pretty good quality.
Yeah,
World
man.
governments got together and said we can't allow this to happen, or that we're a beautiful revolution.
I'll tell you this, without malls, the Oakley store never would have shined the way that it did. Much like Lids would never have shined the way that it currently shines. I mean, a lot of stores needed malls. Still need malls.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, man, just malls. I just love
Yeah,
them all.
can you imagine I'm not gonna drive to an Oakley store.
Nobody. You see them sometimes. You go to like San Francisco, you're down on the wharf, and they have like a standalone Oakley store, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
I will walk into a foot action, but I'm not like parking.
No.
Yeah, no,
it's-
you're not specifically going.
Never go. I'm like,
Yeah.
I better leave the comfort of my home for a foot action today.
Yeah, it's got to be with. That's the appeal. Is like you'll go to if there's 10 of those in one place. That's the appeal, and an escalator and a fountain, and a massage chair. Anyway,
David, time for your second pick.
Oh, and this is not like a pro or a con. This is just like, what an amazing, like, what a wild thing we did. I'm taking the birth control pill. Oh,
Dude.
okay,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's just
man.
like,
Yeah.
holy shit, what's going on?
Yeah.
that is.
That's like, it's bugged out, really. It's, everything
really
about
is.
it is very wild to me. It also feels like this weird, like, of all the things people do, what a playing God type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like, it's really wild, and it's very fucked up, you know? When you look at it, and it's like, we just do that, like, crazy.
Condoms have been around forever, and they were around, and it's just like, I have to imagine a bunch of dudes who are like, nah, this sucks. I'm not feeling this. Let's figure out a way.
Yeah, what are you, some milkman?
To not have to wear these.
Now what's that word you were saying? A condom?
Yeah, it's like
It's like a nicer apartment. It's like, so you know you have an apartment. It's like a nicer apartment.
it's an apartment that you buy.
Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
you can like buy a condom and like you stay in your condom. You know, it's a little bit more upscale.
Gotcha.
Some people put them on their dick, but yeah, I mean, most of it is just a part. Yeah, it's just birth control's bananas, dude.
It's amazing for so many reasons. One, like, I mean, there were a lot of men who would just like would refuse to wear condoms, and then women would turn into like pregnancy factories over and over and over again. And a lot of people have like terrible periods, and the birth control bill would like allow women who would be like crippled by their periods to not have to deal with that as well. It's wild what we're capable of.
It's, yeah.
When you
it's-
want to be capable of it, like the smart people, when they really want to figure something out, they figure it out.
They sure figured it out.
Really amazing. I'm on a pill right now that makes my blood pressure go down. You know what I mean? Yeah. Fucking amazing. They figured that out too. Yeah. Thank you.
Think if you were the first person, how many generations of you would there need to be before somebody like started to chisel away at figuring out how to invent something like blood pressure medication? What's the first step? If you were like,
Am I
if you
still
want to
married
go
to
invent
Dana? Or is it just me reproducing my buttocks?
Oh, that's a good question.
yeah, you're like a flower.
Oh,
You can
never.
stay married to Dana, so it's you and it's just crazy to think
If
like.
Dana and I had a kid, there's a 50% chance that baby could contribute, and a 50% chance that baby will be teaching improv workshops.
Just shocking that some people end up like chiseling away at cures for cancer, and then I don't know. That I don't even know how you go down that road. I know it's teaching in college and all that stuff. Just wild.
I had a friend who once thought that he invented jalapeno poppers in like 2004.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the opposite of what you're talking about.
Dude, we swear to God.
Was it a penicillin thing? Like, you did it on accident at all?
No, he was just like he was trying to figure out how to not have a real job. He's like, oh, maybe I'll make bar foods and sell it to bars around Sacramento. And I'm like, yeah, like you don't know how to cook, but sure, that's something we can do. And then he was like, yeah, what about like these like deep fried like stuffed jalapenos? And I'm like, that's a jalapeno popper. And he's like, what? No, I was like, they're everywhere. Like you could go to an Applebee's one time, like that.
It's a jalapeno busto, so that's, don't get it confused. These are bustos.
My daughter's a jalapeno busto.
These are bustos. I've never heard the word busto.
That is better. You can do all
Yeah,
kinds
those are
of
bustos
bustos.
before poppers any day.
Yeah.
Hey, either way, it's a weird party.
Yeah. Well, it's half leftovers, half poppers. You know what I mean? We just give them a talk. It's really just
Never ending bustos sounds like a
Never ending bustos is why we had to invent the birth control pill.
We got bottomless bustos on Tuesday. It's crazy, bro.
All these Irish Catholics just bustoing all over the place.
Right.
You know, I've heard another thing about the pill that I think this is right. This is from memory, but like it used to be that women would be pregnant all the time because there was such a there was such a low infant mortality or high infant mortality rate. Kids would like die. And so to continue the species, women would basically just like as on an animal level be pregnant all the time. And once that stopped happening so much, and then women were like, well, I don't want to have 15 kids.
Right.
I guess you're not supposed to have your period that often, biologically. That was like never meant to happen, so that also contributed to higher cancer rates, I think, too. So it's like, it's really a miracle pill on like a number of levels, because it's like, it makes your body think you're pregnant. It's wild.
Here's what podcasting is. 4 dudes talking about the pill.
Yeah,
Just dropping knowledge about them.
just get to the bottom. Something I take daily.
Yeah, we all take them as feminists. We all take them.
Yeah, ally.
We're going to take another short break, and then we're going to come back and talk about true crime.
This episode of All Fantasy Everything is brought to you by Bespoke Post. Now, of all the packages that get dropped off in my door, which, hey, your boy's out here getting packages. I get skateboards. Sometimes I get a new shirt here and there. Hands down the best box that I open every month, my Box of Awesome from Bespoke Post. My Box of Awesome, it's filled with just carefully chosen gear from the best small brands around the world. You like to support, Box of Awesome helps you support. This month, my Box of Awesome, it's the Hawker box. So in the box, I got something I didn't even know existed, but it's like a little telescope-looking situation to help you gauge pupil size to see if something is actually wrong with your pupils, which can come in pretty clutch because that indicates stroke and things like that. I also got some tweezers or slivers, nose hairs, but probably slivers. I got a whistle just to let people know where you're at, and I got a crazy dope flip-out knife. Now, I'm not the biggest use a knife guy, but it is fun to have. I'm just looking at it. If I'm ever out in nature, if I need to whittle because I'm bored or I want to bond with a loved one, I got a knife. If I get in a jam, I need to cut something off of me, something that, you know, tied too tight, or if I need to cut my way out of like some shrubbery, something like that, I got a knife. More importantly, it's there for whittling the bond with loved ones. I digress. They send you rad stuff every single month, no matter what you got going on this summer. Box of Awesome, they got you covered. Camping gear essentials, cookout must-haves, drink game upgrades. Box of Awesome has collections for every part of your life. To get started, you just go take the quiz at boxofawesome.com. Answers are going to help you pick the right box for you. They release new boxes every single month, so always options. Each box is valued around $70. You're only going to pay a fraction of that, so you get a deal. Plus, with every Box of Awesome, you're supporting small businesses because 90% of everything that comes in your Box of Awesome is from a small up-and-coming brand. It is free to sign up. You can skip a month. You can cancel at any time. Get 20% off your first monthly box when you sign up at boxofawesome.com and enter the code ALLFANTASY at checkout. Again, that's boxofawesome.com. Code ALLFANTASY for 20% off your first box. Boxofawesome.com. Code ALLFANTASY.
And we're back. Welcome back to All Fantasy Everything, already in progress. It is time for Zach Harper's second and third picks.
This pick of mine started January 19th, 1946. It spanned decades. 11 Grammys, 50 nominations, Lifetime Achievement Award.
Oh, yeah.
It is the one and only Dolly Parton.
Oh, yeah.
I think 9 to 5 is one of the most slept-on movies ever. She's fantastic in that.
Is it slept on?
Yeah, man. Like, no one talks about it enough. That's a
It doesn't get enough shine for sure.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a iconic movie.
I don't know if I've ever
It wasn't.
seen
I think it was at the time. I just don't think it's endured in that way. But that's a great movie.
I still feel like I know a lot of Dolly fans. Like a lot of people in my life.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Dolly Parton's just the best. Like, you guys have talked about her so many times on so many different
Come on,
episodes
best lower house in
of
Texas.
AMV. Yeah.
Dude, the iciest story in the world. Her manager said she couldn't go hang out with the boys one night, so she wrote Jolene and I Will Always Love You in the same night. That shit's crazy, dude. Two of the best songs there are.
It takes me 3 days to write Power Rankings. She wrote those 2 songs in one
I don't
day.
return texts. Just fucking.
A lot of times I have to go back and wipe again. So, yeah. No,
She's a massive philanthropist.
Yeah. Massive philanthropist, like just one of the greatest people to ever exist.
Just donates books everywhere, has her own theme park. Come on, dude. How many people have their own theme park?
We should all go to Dolly.
I go to Dollywood.
Oh, that'd be dang good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real
What is
dang.
that, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee? Is that what that is? Something crazy like this? Yeah, man. Dolly Parton.
She's just
Yeah.
the greatest. I love her.
What's your favorite Dolly song?
Jolie, I just think it's such an incredible song.
About a bank teller, right?
Is that about bank teller? I guess
I thought it was like a bank teller husband
Yeah.
would go and like, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
always, I mean, that song is also a testament to, like, there's always a hotter, you know what I mean? There's always a bigger fish, you know? Like, because if Dolly Parton is intimidated by some other girl, you know.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, too, where you mentioned her philanthropy and how giving she is. And now I know you guys don't subscribe to this idea, but she did help with the COVID-19 vaccine.
You're talking about the street virus known as COVID-19 that a lot of the masses have believed in?
Right.
Yeah. No, I don't.
Are you talking about that hysteria inducement tactic?
You must be talking about that media trick that was played on the whole world.
That one, yeah.
Yeah.
She had a vaccine for that hysteria.
They put that out because it was like it was trying to distract from Hunter Biden, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Like
and of course, to keep people still off the email search for Hillary.
Hillary Clinton. Dolly Parton.
Great.
Fantastic pick. And your third pick?
The OJ trial.
Wow.
Holy buckets, dude.
Yeah. That is, I mean, I still remember, watching that stuff in class. I guess I was in 7th grade?
I was in 6th grade. Are we the same age? I was in 6th grade when they dropped the verdict. So
that can't be right.
God, I was
maybe 7th?
Well, maybe, how many years were you in 6th grade?
Got him. Here's something that I don't ever want to look up on the internet because I don't know. I think it's right, but the most pizzas that were ever ordered for takeout or delivery in one day was the Chase. That's just a random fact that I could see being right, but I never look it up because, take away the novelty. But
also interrupted the NBA Finals. Rockets Knicks. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Like they shut the game off?
The Chase. No. They had it picture in picture.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was buck, man.
Yeah, man. Like, just think about like all the content we got off the OJ trial. Like that was such a it's the trial of the century. I think that was the first time I really had heard that with everything. Like, just that was such a.
It was really the first televised trial, right? Right? Was there ever like a real big televised trial before that?
I think it kind of. Not maybe
speak to that.
I don't know if it
maybe not.
Like it didn't kick off like that 24-hour news cycle, but it galvanized it.
It was definitely. It was like it was this perfect moment of 90s modernism where you know what I mean. You have celebrity, and then you had this media machine to feed, and all this stuff, and then you had race, and then you had all this stuff feeding into it all at the same time, and it just exploded. I've said this before. I had OJ Pogs. I had that I bought at the Oregon State Fair.
Oh, pre-trial.
Pre-trial.
All right,
OJ Pogs post-trial would be nuts.
No. Post-trial OJ Pogs. Or during trial, mid-trial. I had a Marsha Clark Pog. I had an OJ Simpson Pog. I had a Judge Lanzino Pog. And the Slaver had the Bronco Chase on the back.
That is
what? Yes, Pogs, dude.
I changed my pick to that?
Yeah. It was
crazy.
All consuming. There probably wasn't a magazine in the 90s that you couldn't find O.J. Simpson trial coverage on. You know what I mean? Sports Illustrated, of course, Time, of course. But there was probably a Better Homes and Gardens where they went to Marsha Clark's house and they were like, how do you need a low impact garden for when you're busy at work?
Remember they had the dancing Judge Itos on Leno or something like that? It was on every late night talk show, every single one.
And it was a double murder.
Yeah. For the price of one.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, man.
The OJ trial. Yeah, one of the seminal moments. Some big trials in the 1900s.
They were massive, but that was the trial of the 1900s.
Yeah. David, time for your third pick.
Taking the first ever national broadcast called NBC.
Wow.
The idea of a national broadcast company that puts everybody on the same page at the same time. That's like we're all living underneath that. What a major jump forward for everything. Because it was radio, right? It started as radio. It's just, It's just so, it affected everything so much. It put people on the same page more than it feels like newspapers and stuff did, right? Because it was a lot less
the newspapers were all, they were all owned by media titans who were, you know what I mean, each exercising their own, you had the Hearst agenda. You know, then you have like William Randolph Hearst, and then you have like whoever owned like the New York Times or the Chicago Tribune, like these rich families who had money in other things were always exercising, you know, their like power through that. And then I think television for like a long time, there was at least a central narrative.
Yeah, so please excuse my ignorance here. So before a broadcasting company, what was going on TV?
Not local.
Well,
It was just like
before
local?
TV, though, right?
Well, NBC was before TV?
Yeah, because it was like
Did
radio,
they
right?
not start in radio?
Yeah,
That's
it
what
started
you
in
meant.
radio,
Yeah,
CBS.
Whoa, I didn't know that. Oh, I didn't realize that was what you meant. I thought you meant
But
like
even
before
within
TV was radio.
NBC was the first one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
NBC
I
and
did not know that.
CBS both started in 1924,
Oh, broadcasting.
and then NBC started in 24, CBS in 27.
God, just a lot of prohibition
Like,
talk.
what a crazy concept at the time. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it's so crazy what that does for everything. I'm saying crazy a lot. It's very well educated. But the
Catch myself saying
magnitude of it really is just, wow, what a game changer.
At the time, like, it's kind of like the audacity of like, well, we'll just have something people can listen to at all times.
For everybody.
For
Across
everybody.
this
Yeah.
whole country.
Yeah.
This whole giant.
And that's something you can talk and you can go like, yeah, it's nuts.
Well, you would go and you would sit down and you would watch like Edward R. Murrow, you know what I mean, like on CBS, and everyone was like, yeah, this is the guy who tells us the way the world is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there was, I mean, like speaking of like bias, I'm sure there was also bias, you know, probably in the direction of the status quo or whatever, but at least there was an agreed upon reality, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, because the splintering of all that kind of stuff seems to be its own problem as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just
Sure.
like the initial, and just what a landmark thing to do.
Crazy. Sean Jordan, is there a pick?
The first movie with sound.
Oh, talkies?
Yeah, the first talkie. That
I believe
me.
the first one was Jalapeno Crunch.
Jalapeno, yeah.
If you guys
The
are
first-
Talkies fan. Purple.
the first talkie, man. I
What
didn't,
was it?
I should have written all this.
How do you not know? How do you come in with the first talkie and then you don't even know it's the jazz singer?
Was it in
Dude,
Pittsburgh?
what did you, were you skateboarding for 2 hours before this? What did you
Yeah.
do for the 2 hours before that, you jamoke?
I made this list last night for hours. I really sat.
My daughter's dating a jazz singer.
That's great. That's great.
I believe that movie was racist.
I never knew that movie was just a short version of moving, like a talkie that moves. I didn't.
A moving picture. And a
Yeah, it
talkie,
didn't make.
a talkie
When I heard that, I was
moving.
like, oh. It's like when you like that Regan joke where he hears about the walkie-talkie, like, look at me, I walkie and I talkie.
Yeah.
And it just made me feel funny saying movie now because it sounds like such a weird
It's like a
pedestrian
dumb
term.
word.
Yeah.
One of the movies.
Going into the movies.
What are they doing? Well, they're going to be moving.
Yeah.
I like
Moving picture.
Personally, I like the standees.
A standy talkie, it does me just fine. They don't even move it.
You guys are standy talkies, aren't you?
I'm a city talkie.
I'm a city talkie right now.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely a city talkie. I don't know, personally, movies, they just roll. I mean, I'm not splitting the atom by bringing that up. Everybody likes movies. Every now and then you meet somebody who says they don't like movies, and I just want to ball them up like garbage and be like, what are you doing to me? It's like saying you don't.
Does that mean you don't like movies?
I never got it. Somebody trying to sound cool, like, oh, I don't really watch TV. Which is fine if you
I think
don't,
it's
but
sometimes like a focus thing. I think some people find it hard to focus.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
the whole
I
idea
get
that you
that.
wouldn't
If
sit
that's
through a
the
2.5
case-
hour movie, but you would watch an 8-part miniseries or something like that kind of thing.
Or
It's like
60
focus
hot
on-
dogs.
Yeah, I mean, I've known people who just. I have friends now who just don't. They just kind of can't. If you don't watch TV a lot, it is kind of jarring, you know.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like if you ever had a time where you just didn't watch it for a long time. I remember when I went to Africa, we didn't ever watch TV, and then coming back home, you didn't watch TV for like 4 months, and then come back home and it's like stressful.
It kind of hurts your eyes, and it's like when you
hurts your
readjust to it,
eyes,
right? Yeah.
It's fast. It like
Yeah.
really burns shit into your
Yeah.
brain. Like it's like I get it.
It's fast.
It is. It's like the pace of it.
Yeah.
It's very frantic. Like
Yeah.
commercials. that's like a frantic bitch.
Do you ever go back and like you'll watch like I don't know like something with commercials from like the 80s or even before the the 70s 60s? The commercials are like slow, they're like the commercials like, ooh, delicious Angus beef raised on a farm in Idaho.
Real slow moving commercial.
And then now it's like, if you don't buy OxyClean, I'm gonna fuck your wife.
Right, exactly. Everything used to be so much calmer than it is.
You know what's
That's
crazy?
a good reason to buy OxyClean, though. Like, if you're, that's a good strategy.
Yeah.
You gotta come home just like, why'd you buy that OxyClean? You know why.
Yeah.
You
And
know
also,
why.
we'll use it, but that's not why I bought it.
In a twist of fate, like now sometimes I will sit and watch YouTube videos of commercials, old commercials. It used to be the least favorite thing about watching TV were
Yeah, I've done
commercials.
that before.
And now it's just like, it's pretty fun watching commercials sometimes.
Maybe
But-
take some of that commercial watching time and use it to research your picks.
Well, did you or did you not research it for me just now?
That's a great point. And now I feel useful. You know what that is? That's a good friend.
Yeah, man, movies. Moving pictures.
Moving pictures. Time for my third and my fourth picks. With my third pick, look, they can't all be serious. I'm going to take Fabio getting hit by a goose on a roller coaster. 1999.
That's one of the great. I just got in there.
Just got in there.
Yeah.
Just closed out the decade on a hot streak.
Yeah, what a time, man.
Fabio, a man with a beautiful golden mane and pecs, like you could free solo him. Oh my God, the guy was
You just
built.
get Fabio now, like what a weird movement that was, the Fabio situation.
In
that just
Italian,
happened.
just Fabio in general is amazing.
Yeah.
The 90s, he was on the cover of 1,300 different romance novels.
He was not.
Yeah, 1,300.
Now,
Oh, yeah.
if you would have had to guess, I would have guessed like 15.
I would have been in the 40s at most.
1,300, bro.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, 1,300. Fabio always glistening. Pecs
That's a
just
lot of horse
popping. Pecs
Dude,
popping like a
When
jalapeno.
I moved to
blaster.
Portland, he was signing books at a Fred Meyer one time. Really,
He
really
held
threw
the
me.
pen with his chest muscles, dude. I didn't even.
I saw him at a Sweet Greens on Sunset last year, I think.
He was just
Actually,
being
he looked
normal.
great, man. He just I think he had just come from a gym or something. He looked amazing.
I am having what he's having. I don't care.
Dude,
Whatever he orders, I'm yelling out 2 of those.
I went behind him and said, "You go first."
Yeah.
Sounds nice. Make it twice. We'll take 2 of those. March 31st, 1999. Fabio is at the Busch Gardens in Williamsburg, Virginia, to celebrate the inauguration of Apollo's Chariot, a new roller coaster.
Apollo's Chariot?
Apollo's Chariot. He gets in the first car, right in the
Yeah,
front,
I asked him.
surrounded
Known
by
Apollo.
Arnone Apollo. He gets right in the front and center, surrounded by local, it looks like models dressed in sort of Greek gear and laurels to evoke the Apollo's Chariot feel and everything. And the roller coaster goes 80 miles an hour over a pond and then gets up to 85 miles an hour. And as it's going 85 miles an hour over this pond, a bunch of geese are shocked by the roller coaster, start flying, and then one of them hits Fabio's face at 85 miles an hour.
Was he okay?
That's tough. And he was bleeding like crazy.
Yeah, he was bleeding like crazy.
I don't remember this at all.
He turned. Oh, so what happened was the goose hit a camera, and then the camera shard hit Fabio. But no, it didn't.
No.
No.
That's what they want
The
you to
goose.
do.
He got goose.
Yeah, that's to avoid That's to avoid it.
Yeah, absolutely. He knows where his bread is.
Sorry to say pigs.
He knows where his. I can't believe it's not butter. It's bread.
He is sitting in between, he's in a blue shirt, and he is surrounded by 4 women in white dresses, and his face is covered in blood.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, they're dressed in like Greek. They're dressed like Greek. Like you know what I mean? Like they're like the Apollo's Chariot.
Yeah.
This is insane.
Yeah, and it's just one of the funny because it being the kind of the last massive pop culture moment that Fabio had.
Yeah.
It's so funny. The whole Fabio story is amazing. And then it's like, and how do we end this saga? And he gets hit by a goose on a roller coaster.
Hilariously.
Wow, perfect. So that is my third pick, and then my fourth pick, I'm going to take Walking on the Moon.
That's a good
sure.
one. Yeah.
And
Sure.
let me sort of play this both ways. I bet you believe that we walked on the moon,
Uh-huh.
that the Americans in a space race with the Russians launched a rocket in this decade and went to the moon, landed on it. And then Neil Armstrong got out, stepped on the moon, Buzz Aldrin after him. Michael Collins had to stay in the lander. What a bummer.
I would be, seriously.
Can you believe that happened in 63, 60, or 65
64,
years?
right? Oh, sorry.
Is it from like 1903 until the first flight, and then we landed on the moon in what, 1969?
That sounds right.
I think.
I thought it was 64. I don't know why I'm thinking that, but
That's when they started production.
Yeah, July
They
20th,
built
19.
the soundstage and everything.
Well, here's the other thing. Either in 66 years, we made it from the very first flight to man walking on the fucking moon, as Duncan said. Or the government and Hollywood got together and faked it
As they do.
in a sound studio. Either way, baby, it's impressive. It just speaks to two of the things that we're best at as a country.
Because we either went to the moon and
Yeah.
stepped on it, or
Stepped on it.
yeah, or
fuck your couch.
or we
Like some pure cocaine.
yeah, or we tricked enough people to think.
Or we
Either
like,
way, it's
"Damn,
great.
the Russians are getting pretty close, and we're not that close. What can we do?
We can go to Burbank.
Hey, call Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah.
If we
It's
did,
fucking great.
if we faked it, I wonder how many people know. How many, like 30? How many people know that we actually faked it? That'd be a fun one.
That's the thing about it, is if we faked
Yeah.
it, we'd know. I feel like we'd know by now.
I
Well,
feel like I
some
just
people
have
do.
to believe it. It's like, do you just, I don't know. I'm like, yeah, sure. Why would I not believe it? I guess, why not?
You gotta question everything.
I question nothing, man. I don't care.
Well, I question you. I question you, Sean. What is your fourth pick?
The Dairy Queen Blizzard.
Yeah, dude, that's a great
Oh,
pick.
that's a great pick. Oh my god, it hits every time.
It's always, I just got a few the other night on the way home, and they're just, for me and other people, I didn't get a few for me, but they're just, it's just always,
You're all right.
they're doing the thing again, finally, where they tip it upside down. They didn't do that for a long time, and I would get so bummed out when you get one and they just hand it to you.
Always done that.
Nah, well, not at Sioux Falls down the street. There was one a block and a half from my like teenage house, and for the longest time, those lazy teenagers did not tip it upside down, and it used to bum me out. But
That might have been
yeah.
a good call.
Yeah, they couldn't figure out a blizzard in Sioux Falls that you couldn't tip over.
Didn't January Jones work at a Dairy Queen in Sioux Falls?
I believe she worked at a Julius in the mall, so Dairy Queen
okay.
adjacent. But yeah, two of my picks, man.
'Cause I was gonna say, like, after January Jones has worked at an ice cream place, that's a kind of peak for like Dairy Queens.
Yeah,
in
that's
Sioux
gonna be
Falls.
tough to beat. Yeah.
That's not. Like, why would you even? You want me to do this? You want me to still do this thing after you know January Jones worked here? Let's be adults.
Yeah, the Blizzard, real simple. I don't know, just
What's your go-to?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
strawberry cheese quake.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Whoa,
immediately.
That feels exotic.
Yeah.
Wow.
Immediately. Yeah, let's go around the horn. Isaac, chime in if you got one.
I'm a Heath Bar boy, or Butterfinger, depending on which they have. They don't
Oh
always
yeah,
have
what's
both.
your favorite Blizzard though? I know you're a Heath Bar boy.
I'm a Heath Bar boy from way back.
You got beat in when you were in 6th grade.
Yeah.
The Bar boys are in town.
So I like that kind of salty, like Heath or Butterfinger, like whichever the Chico sticks
Uh-huh.
sort of flavor.
Mine's a Butterfinger for sure. Every
Yeah.
single time, always hits.
Oh, I'm boring. I'm an Oreo guy.
No, that's
Yeah,
not boring.
that's
That's not
fine.
boring
There's
at all.
no
Yeah,
wrong way
that's
to
not
get
boring
it.
at all. Yeah.
You know what they got right now, David, is an Oreo brownie one. It's like a new
Oh,
seasonal
I
one or
did
something.
that.
It is ill. I got it for Laura. Mm-mm-mm.
Isaac is saying DQ wasn't really that much of a thing in Los Angeles, and I really echo that. I don't really see him around
I don't
here.
think I see him here either.
There, I
tasty
think
for his city.
Zach found one. Wait, I think we drove a ways to it.
If anyone found one, it would have been
It
that.
would have been him.
I think like it was like Reseda or something crazy. But yeah, I don't. There's not. You would know better than me, but I can't think of any in like LA that I ever saw.
I would drive to Reseda for a Dairy Queen.
Can we get a Sonic here unless they're problematic and I didn't know about it?
Have you been to a Sonic?
There's no Sonics here.
I don't care for Sonic.
They're okay.
What?
It's okay.
It's
What am I
it's
getting
like
out of it?
it's
Chili
kind
cheese
of bland. Oh,
Lucky
yeah,
David?
this
You gotta
is
know
for
what
the
you
ice cream stuff, I feel like.
Oh, do they have good ice cream? I always thought they had like
slushy
soda.
They got their slushy drinks, yeah.
There's a model of scarcity, it feels like. Where you see these commercials and you're like, ooh, I want that because it's like novel.
It's
But then
definitely more in like rural places.
Yeah. But then don't put commercials in LA.
yeah, it's weird.
Okay.
It's like that money could be spent
It's a
elsewhere.
national broadcasting
You
company.
can't get a crony.
There's a lot of equivalents in Los Angeles. You could get whatever
I'm
you
just
can
saying.
get.
I need chili cheese tots. I need a slushy drink. I need a coney. That's what I need.
Blizzard.
Yeah, the closest I can think is to Fuddruckers that used to be in
Not your
Burbank.
bank, bro.
Yeah, Blizzard. What was that? My fourth pick?
Fourth pick, excellent. David, time for your fourth pick?
Does this work? The 78 RPM vinyl record.
Oh,
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
records before that, but when they went to 78, I guess is when it like went mass all over the world, like when it became, and that's like huge. You know what I mean? That's like
Still good.
that's incredible.
Yeah.
I don't currently, and I've tried, and I never will be able to understand how that works.
I don't understand how any of it works, man. I mean,
There was
tape,
this
record, CD, I don't get any of it.
I get how flight works. I
Tape
understand
makes
that.
more sense to me, I guess. And I don't understand.
Putting the
CDs
needle to the groove and having that be sound.
because it's like vibrations, right? So it's recorded into the groove.
Yeah, but that's just, you already made me like wanna like look
Get
at
into the groove.
a Mad magazine or something to feel back down to earth. It just is crazy to me. Is that also the first time music was portable? Where you could be like, hey, this band that you couldn't otherwise hear?
I think it was the beginning of it being mass produced too.
That's awesome.
The records were, I think, right?
Yeah. And just the idea of like how we consume music now, where it's like the idea of getting a record or a CD and listening to it 150 times just alone in your room. It didn't work like that before unless you like knew how to play the shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It like changes the way we consume music.
You were like, you had to be like, Eric, will you play Camptown Races again?
Again.
There is something to be said about how I feel like maybe our generations would feel music a little more, or like it would mean a little more because you had to listen to the whole, like I could fast forward or whatever, but I never did. I just listened to the whole song. I never listened to the 30 seconds I liked and then got bored and skipped to another song. Like I'd listen to the whole side of All Eyes on Me every single time. And then now you can skip, or you can just kind of dance around and just, I don't know, maybe appreciate it more.
People are still, I think, I don't know, like I think like 12
Still doing that, they're still being
really,
purists.
They're listening to every Olivia Rodrigo song. You know what I mean? Like they're still like,
That's what I wonder.
I
Like,
don't
do
think
people
so
still
at
listen
all.
to the whole album?
No
I
way.
think so.
I listened
Maybe
to that whole
not as
Miley
much.
album. That new Miley album was fucking fire, dude. That's the first whole album I've listened to in a while. That's great.
Weirdly, I think it's changed the way that people who grew up with CDs listen to music almost more maybe than it's changed kids. Like, do you ever still like love on a whole CD or a whole album?
If it's like something I'm really interested in, yeah, but for the most part, or I rarely listen to an album in one sitting.
Yeah.
If I do, I'll like 2 different walks or something. But
I do it like homework almost now, where I'm like,
but I have to get this.
Yeah, I'm like, I have to listen to this whole Big Thief album, you know, because people say it's great, and then I like make myself do it.
Yeah, there was that, whatever the Drake album I did, where I was just like, I'm gonna go on a walk however long this album is. Records, bro. It's weird because it doesn't look like there's any mechanical. Just needle in a groove. There's no moving robot parts. I
If
can't
it was magic and they were like, well, we can't tell people magic's real, so we have to design
People are ready for that. It's the Dust Bowl.
We have to design a thing that like people will be like, not ask any follow-up questions because it seems complicated.
Well,
What if it's
magic's
like
real,
a
then
needle in
maybe
grooves?
use magic for other shit. They'd be like, no, it's only record magic.
It's only music magic is real. It's weird, but anyway.
I don't think I'm mixing up my HBO softcore porn movies, but I think there was something called like Sensation or Sensations or something like that in like the 90s, where part of the movie was they were able to like use like CD and record technology for playing things to like go over a ceramic pot, and then like it was like unlocking and playing the noises that were made, that were going on, like the conversation going on when these artifacts were being created.
Oh, is that like
completely
the
different
concept
softcore
of
porn movies, but I'm
And then
pretty sure
do
that
they like
was
watch
the
like
case.
sex in Rome, and then is that like then
No,
you
you
like
could just hear it. You just heard sex and roll. Like you would, so you would hear like the the potters making stuff.
but they flash back to it.
I don't want to hear
They
Roman
probably
sex.
flash back to it. Yeah.
I don't think that would be great for anyone to hear Roman sex.
Why not? Oh, you doing me one more time, man.
No, weren't they perverts? I'm talking about like weren't they?
Romans?
Romans?
No, like
Like
what,
past
like
tense?
the Caesars and stuff. Didn't they like little boys and stuff? But am I crazy? I thought I was making.
Yeah, but they still got pedophiles now too.
Yeah, it's still fun. Look it up on the internet.
No. I want my algorithms to say street fights, and now a new one is people freaking out on planes. That's a big one I get. I know a lot of people get it.
I get that a lot too.
Boy, do I get that a lot. I watch
Where's my
every
algorithm?
single second of it. Every single
I'm
second.
not that interested because it's usually like part 4 and 5, and I'm like, just get to the thing, man. Like I'm not interested in the aftermath.
I skip
or
until I see
before
bodies
that.
flying on the ground. I don't want to hear the ride up, but I skip until I see hands getting thrown.
Mine's a lot of menswear, and
Mine's a lot of Ian Carmel. Like just he's all over right
I'm
now.
trying, man.
Yeah.
I'm fucking trying. I appreciate. Thank you to everyone who has been like sharing the clips and following me on those various things. I was recently told by a comedy club about my agent that like comedy clubs are like, they're like, yeah, they're only gonna pay your feature X amount of money, and if you don't like it, they'll get somebody with a big following on TikTok.
Oh yeah,
And I was like,
that's the game.
So I was like, I guess I better start busting some shit on TikTok.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta play your feature out of pocket. That's how they do that.
Yeah, those days are over.
And you're a gentleman, my friend, and you did.
I did.
You did.
And I will again. And the game is the game. I just want to be in it.
And we're gonna have fun in Vancouver. None of this is about what happened in the 20th century. This is 21st century, baby.
Zach Harburn, it's time for your fourth and your final picks.
Now Sean took the mall.
Sean Jordan.
Yeah. But can I take something that's in the mall? Or does he just get all mall stuff?
I think I'm fine with
Let's
it.
hear it.
I've never-
Let's hear
I
it.
don't like putting parameters out there, baby.
There is, or at the time, there was one place you could get a novelty mug or a lava lamp or a backpack that was shaped like Sonic the Hedgehog. It's Spencer's Gifts.
Where they never stop you from
I'll take
stealing.
it Spencer's Gifts.
Never stop you.
Yeah.
Big or
What?
small?
Yeah, I didn't partake in
You
those,
remember
but-
going back and being like, I'm gonna go check out the Nirvana posters real quick, but
Yeah.
I'm really gonna look
Just
at the
go check
Family
out
Anderson posters.
Apartments? They sold apartments at Spencer's Gifts? Yes, they sure did.
Yeah, just
Small
a
ones?
whole wall of posters that you just kind of sift through. Like it was, man, Spencer's Gifts.
Was
just
that
a
Eminem and
phenomenal
Jason
store.
mask? With his orange overalls?
Definitely got a South Park poster that said, please excuse Kenny, he has explosive diarrhea. South Park poster from Spencer's Gifts.
Oh, that's where I got my Lost Boys poster. That's where I had an ICP poster. That's definitely where I got the Joker poster for days.
Right.
For sure, that's where I got the Joker
That's where I got a
poster.
Scarface poster for college. Yeah.
Dude, our buddy Tony walked out of there with one of those, you know how they had those like sandcastle, volcano, crystal ball things that were like way big, like as big as a TV, and they were like $300?
Yeah.
They were like, they had the big in the back, like dragon section, where it was just like stuff that drug dealers would have on their mantle, you know?
Oh, okay. Oh, so you
Crystal
like put
ball
your hand on it
dragons.
and like lightning would. Oh, yeah.
Kinda, just weird shit. But one of them was like as big as a TV, and our buddy Tony just picked it up and walked out with it. They didn't do it. They didn't even look, and then he just started doing that. So he had a lot of those at his house. It was ridiculous.
That's where you want your home decor from.
Yes. We didn't get a geode, just random geodes of
Oh,
just like
yeah, open it up.
They had all
Dude,
that
you
stuff.
can get adult gifts, but not being an adult. You know, you get like little cards with swear words in them and stuff. You don't have to be grown up.
perfect stocking stuffer if you celebrate Christmas. The perfect place for
Is
those
there,
gifts.
is there a Spencer? Like, do we know? Is there like a?
It's
I wanted to know.
Diana, Princess Diana Spencer.
That's
That's why her family had so much money. Now Prince Harry is the heir to the Spencer's Gifts fortune.
Max Spencer Adler.
Is he like? I want him to be like a Willy Wonka type of character.
He's just got a factory full of like novelty dildos and whatnot.
Yeah. He's just being weird in there.
I remember when Spencer's was like the neon sign. They made the switch to like a graffiti garage environment recently,
Yeah.
but I remember when it was like
They
the
got
neon
bought by
pink sign.
Germans.
Oh.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Oh, wow. I
You
thought
hate some knowledge right there that you weren't telling us all about.
Knowledge?
There it is.
I want to hear more of this plan. I want a Willy Wonka-esque movie about Spencer from Spencer's Gifts. I think. Put Timothy Chalamet in that.
Dude, they did the origin story for the Hot Cheetos. I think they could do it for Spencer's Gifts.
Yeah. Just 5 kids.
I don't know about, you want to hear? I don't know about Tim as young Wonka. I don't know. I watched the trailer. I don't know.
I just don't know about that movie.
I don't know, man. I don't know if I need it. I don't know if anyone needs it. I'm gonna watch it. I don't know if I need it.
Here's the thing. I think if this picture's, oh no, this says biology. It's biology. Okay. I was just gonna say the first image that came up on Google Image for Max Spencer Adler, and I thought it was like, well, Tucci. But I don't know if this is a.
Tucci can play anybody.
Yeah, you might have to DH Tucci to get him to play young Max Spencer Adler.
I want it to be like when they had Frank Costanza in the Korean War, where it's just Jerry Stiller, like at 70 years old, just in a uniform in a flashback.
Active in the war.
Yes.
And your final pick, Zach Harper.
Also mall related, but it is
Give it to
my
me.
favorite board game of all time. Is the board game Mall Madness. It is the absolute best.
I've never heard of Mall Madness.
Dude, my sister and I used to play this all the time.
Did you get like a credit card?
You get like a credit card, and you had to like buy certain things and get out of the mall first. But there were times where like you would go to a store and you'd have to like push this button on this talking thing, and it'd be like, oh, long line, try again later, and then like you ruined your turn with that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You'd have to
This
go to the
is
ATM and like get money and stuff or whatever. Like it was, oh my god, Mall Madness was the best.
Sean, you didn't play this game because the objective was to get out of the mall fastest, and that's never been on your
Yeah, that's right.
What the fuck? Lock me in, baby.
You just intentionally lose every time.
Yeah.
Mall Madness, the talking shopping spree game.
Oh, dude, I have it.
You
We
have
can
it
all
now?
play it. Yeah, we can all play it.
Let's play it. Let's play it.
Apparently they didn't think dudes went to the mall when this game came out.
They sure didn't. And tell you what, my sister and I played that forever. It's the only time we got along as kids is when we played Mall Madness.
I just love your fighting and your parents are like, good to go. Bill Harper coming in, go play Mall Madness. Do
They
it.
got stores for everyone here. The I Am Coffin Drug Store, you know, so you go get prescriptions.
Is it I period M period coffin?
They got Yuppie Puppies Pets, Short Circuit Electronics. You could go there. Novel Idea Books, Frumps Fashion Boutique, Fork It Over Kitchen Store, Hocus Focus Cameras. Get out of town.
Ding-a-ling phones.
Ding-a-ling Phones, MT Wallets Department Store, MT Wallets. Come on, Bill Bradley.
I didn't even get it. If you wouldn't have said it twice, I wouldn't have got it. I wouldn't have got it at all. Like, yeah, military technical wallets. It's a college you go to learn how to be money management in the military.
MT Wallets, dude. Amazing pick. I've never played Mall Madness. We should play it.
We should. It's so good.
Get a bottle of wine and play Mall Madness.
There we go.
David Warren, tell me your final pick.
I'm taking Michael Jordan.
God damn
That's
it.
a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to like elevate basketball to what it was, to be one of, he was one of the top 30 most regular in the world.
Yeah.
To be a guy from North Carolina, and just amazing, man. And what a thing to have done.
Did the dunk contest with a chain out? Nobody's ever looked cooler than that.
No, change sportswear, athletic apparel forever. Just one guy did all that playing basketball and being a pretty shrewd businessman.
And not a peach to work with.
Shoes because of that man. I bought hot dogs because of that man. Gatorade, underwear. I had a Hitler mustache for a while, all because of Michael Jordan.
Ballpark hot dogs.
Ballpark hot dogs.
And just that idea. Oh, yeah, good.
No, please.
No, I was just saying about that idea of an athlete being like a worldwide icon. I feel like there's always been that throughout history, but I don't know if it was ever to that level before him, right?
I don't think so.
Because, I mean, like Muhammad Ali was a massive deal.
That's
Right,
probably
like
the
the
closest.
Yeah, the
But,
world.
like, not
Heavyweight titles were always huge, right?
Yeah, there's some of those boxers from like back in the day.
Yeah.
Like Jack Johnson or whoever had like, but like not globally maybe quite as much.
Right. Like, he's like gone under a rock in 1996 and said Michael Jordan.
Yeah. And they knew, yeah. He also publicly denounced the actions of his son in dating Larsa Pippen.
You can see that. The public statement we were all waiting for, Michael Jordan. Now you take a side.
How long did it take? That took a long time.
I guess Larsa Pippen doesn't buy sneakers.
Well, Marcus just gives them to him.
Yeah, she's got a plug.
She's got the trophy room plug.
But yeah, Michael Jordan. Just
amazing thing.
That outfit he wore in Barcelona in 1992.
I was just thinking about that the other day. That's so funny. I was in the Bed Bath & Beyond going out of business sale. Great deals, by the way, guys. Great deals. 60% off. And I saw some sheets that looked like.
You should have gotten those.
No, I don't. No.
The other sneaky Michael. No, you would have weird dreams, dude.
Yeah.
Hoop dreams, but weird dreams.
Hoop dreams, good.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, what were we gonna talk about? This is my brain. We're talking about Barcelona.
Bed Bath & Beyond. His outfit.
No, his outfit.
60% off.
Larsa Pippen.
Oh, the other thing that like I know they touched on it briefly in the documentary, but like he was pre-rap too in a way that's very funny. To imagine like him working out to just like real smooth R&B.
He notoriously doesn't like rappers.
No.
Yeah. No, he I remember, I think this was an on-court interview, but there's a soundbite where he talks about like his hype song pre-game is Anita Baker giving you the best that I got.
Yeah.
I vividly remember, like that's what he was like getting up with.
I remember watching him in the Last Dance where he was jamming to Kenny Loggins, where you were like, whoa, I really did not know this guy.
Yeah.
No. That should have been the
Get
first
what you think you know.
I had no idea who this dude was. Whoa, what's going on?
Sean Jordan, your final pick.
Lasers, bro.
Lasers.
What's it stand for?
Just lasers. So this dude Theodore, I thought his last name was Miami, but it's Mayman. It's got all the letters of Miami. So I was like, what? Theodore Miami?
Theodore Miami.
Sounds like the guy who invented lasers.
Really does.
Keybones. Same guy. It was a Jolene situation.
He lasered a key. It was a Jolene, I'll always love you situation, but by Miami. He made the first laser operate in May 1960 at the Hughes Research Laboratory in California by shining a high-powered flash lamp on a ruby rod with silver-coated surface.
Ruby Rod was there when the keyboard was invented.
Yeah. AKA Chris Tucker in the Mandela.
Yeah.
It's the only way to keep Ruby Rod there.
Just lasers, it's probably, most, like, uneducated I'm ever going to sound, but they're just like,
lasers are great.
Lasers,
Laser
everything.
pointers took over my elementary school.
Laser parties, laser tag, just laser shit,
Laser
dude.
bowling?
It just rules.
Laser tag. In '97, was there a better way to have fun?
And I couldn't, it's still awesome to me that you could just go play actual, because we used to, whatever, when we were kids, just with our little, play shoot 'em games or whatever, but then you could be like, no, I did hit you, because the laser said I did. And the points on my gun say that I hit you a bunch. And when we go play laser tag, it would jack your adrenaline up. Like, it really would be,
for sure.
like, I'd really get shaky and be doing action rolls and stuff I can't do. Steady,
man. It's the one thing you learned about yourself.
A lot of dudes shaking Laser Quest.
That's Zach Harper.
Yeah, man, it was all smoky and neon-y. That they had lasers in the laser tag. It was tight.
Think about how dumb glow-in-the-dark bowling must have felt when laser tag came
Oh
out.
my god.
I thought you had something. Oh, you're wearing white? Check this out. And then laser tag, we're shooting fucking lasers at each other.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
They didn't even turn them into laser grenades. They just kept them bowling balls and tried to be done with them.
Fucking idiots.
Bunch of morons.
Yeah, if my pick could be lasers, bro, that would be tight.
Yeah, lasers, bro. I'm going to take my final pick, the final pick of the draft. I'm taking Aquemini by Outkast.
There we go.
That's a
Yeah.
That's a good pick.
Fantastic.
I think it was there were a lot of peaks musically, but I think that was one of the highest ones for me.
That's something you gotta listen to all the way through.
That you have to listen to that all the way
Yeah.
through. The outfits skewed on the Barbie.
That was their first one that I had like paid attention to too.
Me too.
First one I ever heard of.
I remember
I
when
think
it
so,
came
yeah.
out and like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I didn't hear about the others till way later.
Seeing the word and having to like just absolutely well, I'm getting to approach what this word sounds like.
One of these dressed like the
And then
Legion of
you
Doom
hear-
playing baseball.
Yeah.
I got into rap in a weird way. I don't know what was going on in Beaverton, Oregon, but Master P was kind of the first rap I really ever listened to.
Wait, was Beaverton a suburb? That's what was
Beaverton
going
is a
on.
suburb of Portland, Oregon. It was Master P and like No Limit Records, and I remember trading Master P's Double City. I've told the story before. For Aquemini on the bus, and then listening to it, being like, oh my! It was the first time I heard Raekwon. It was the first time I heard Outkast.
It's a lot better than The Last Dog.
It is better than the last one. No shit on Master P and No Limit Records,
guys.
but
No, I'm a
hold
big
on.
Ghetto Dope guy. I like
Yeah.
Master P.
Ghetto Dope
But The
was
Last Dog
honestly
isn't that great.
Let's not say things. we
Make
shouldn't.
crack
Let's-
like this. Man,
P,
I forgot about
Last
Ghetto
Dog.
Dope. Listen to Ghetto Dope right now.
But Outkast, Aquemini.
Yeah, solid.
One of the crowning achievements of the 20th century, in my opinion. Isaac, do you have a pick?
Sorry, I was on mute.
Isaac got hit in the face by a goose and his
by Goose. I'm gonna pick video games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
That's the kind of stuff to me. Yeah.
They are fun.
pretty good.
Yeah. Now,
I
can
just
I ask
finished
you,
Disco Elysium. Yeah, go on.
are you picking, and if I may, are you picking arcade games or are you picking like console games, like at home?
For me, it was console games growing up. You know, I mean, also like the Game Boys, you know, handheld stuff, sports
Yeah.
games, 2K, FIFA, all that shit.
I just got a Nintendo Switch, and holy shit, that is a time waster, and that is a lot of nostalgia. That's a lot of fun.
It
Yeah.
looks so good too. The Switch.
looks
Like,
yeah,
it
it
looks
looks
like
amazing.
candy. It's crazy. Visual candy.
It
Yeah.
really does look, you're right, it really does look tasty. I'm talking actual Switch to eat. Looks good.
It's
I
fantastic.
mean, the graphics.
I didn't mean to cut off discussion about video games. I was just saying it's a fantastic thing.
You're alright. You're alright.
Killed the mood. Fucking blew it. I blew it. I have other stuff to say about the Switch. I love it. I love the Switch. I have one. I play it all the time. On flights? On your flight to Tokyo? Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Download Civilization 6 and it'll feel like the flight's 45 minutes. I'm telling you.
I still don't, and that's still something I should have known was a thing. You guys got real mad at me.
Some drinks were involved. It's all right. It's
Okay.
all right. It's a great game. It's a great game. All right. It might not be your cup of tea, but if it is, boy, oh boy. To recap, we drafted the 20th century. Zach Harper, you went first. You took in order Alf, Dolly Parton, the OJ trial, Spencer's Gifts, and Mall Madness. So we're trending towards the latter quarter of the century.
Oh, that's great, man.
David, you went second. You took Flight. National Broadcasting, the vinyl record, and Michael Jordan. Sean, you went third. You took the internet, malls, talkies, the DQ Blizzard, and lasers, bro. I went last and I took penicillin, Hitler dying, Fabio getting hit by a goose, walking on the moon, and Outkast's album, Aquemini.
Left a lot on the board, huh?
The rest of the century.
The rest of the 1920s.
About 100 years.
Chocolate chip cookies, Rasputin.
I got Egos. Candy cigarettes were just fucking cool, man. Nothing wrong with being a kid with a candy cigarette.
Microwave.
Bagel bites.
My wife being born.
Woodstock, Rap, Buffalo Wings,
Golden Girls.
Taco
Yeah.
Bell, Las Vegas,
Brands.
Titanic.
The Great Depression.
Arvita Sabonis.
I just like people having to pull themselves up by the bootstraps.
You like bootstraps, yeah.
Yeah. Real World San Francisco, specifically that season.
Prohibition failing twice. Get out of here with that.
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage, communism.
Air conditioning.
Yeah.
The Golden Record.
The Golden
that
Record.
Yeah, they sent into space. Yeah, I almost took that. Wiener Schnitzel.
Sean barfing on 6th Street. That happened. No, wait, that was
No, that was
20.
It's like 6 years ago.
That's my
5
bad.
years before
Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
Splash.
A lot of different words. Splash. We want to hear your picks. Send us up at All Fantasy Pod on Twitter, allfantasypodcast@gmail.com. Shout out to everyone on the AFE Patreon, the AFE Slackity, the AFE subreddit. Extra. the Patreon, you can get we did a auction draft a couple weeks ago with Chase Serrano. We are doing those auction drafts once a month on the Patreon. We're doing mailbags, all sorts of extra content. You can get yourself an AFE Patreon exclusive hat that we made with Trailblazer, which is going to be going out here fairly soon. It's super dope, friend of the program.
It is dope, dude.
All sorts of extras on there, and you get to help support us through multiple strikes.
I just got 3 new videos of me doing stand-up 15 years ago that I'm editing out the bad parts of.
Oh,
And
to
put
put
those up.
That's making tier where you don't edit it.
If I could get a solid NDA from anyone in that tier, then I would do it. But I can't, so I won't.
I'm a $20 a month subscriber to your Patreon. I want those raw.
Harper, I'll send them to you. You can have them
Okay.
yourself.
Yeah, I want to see it. Text it to me too.
You
I
can
want
all
to
see
see it
them.
too.
Also, a couple of different people reached out. They're gonna send me weird Mountain Dews, and I'm gonna shotgun them. I'm gonna put that up there too. So that's
I
gonna
love
You're gonna
that.
shotgun them.
I'm going
Wait,
to. Someone sent me a 12-pack, and
Why
I
didn't
said
you
I
just
shotgun one
drink
of
it?
them. I'm gonna drink the other 11.
Listen, man.
You don't have to do this and nobody wants to see it.
Oh, they want to see a big. I bought a Mountain Dew at a flat pantry today. I'm buying Mountain Dews. I'm back to that level. I bought one.
What flavor?
Straight Mountain Dew. They had Baja
just
Blast there, and I
original.
was like, no, I'm a purist. I'm so at that level now where I'm like, just give me a regular Mountain Dew. Back
Shouldn't
when
be
things
allowed
were
to get
simple.
You should be allowed to get a Baja Blast outside of Taco Bell. That should be.
No, this is what that song Summer Madness was about.
That what?
Shout out to everyone on the AFE subreddit. Shout out to super producer Isaac playing video games, going on dark mode trips to Tokyo. Shout out to Saint Sue Carmel. Shout out to Frankie Ocean. Shout out to Civic Dude. Shout out to Hot Beats. And more important than all of that, tune in again next week to another brand new episode of All Fantasy Everything.
Shaklackity.
That was a headgum podcast.
I'm Tobin Heath, 2-time World Cup winner.
And I'm Kristen Perez, 2-time World Cup winner.
And this is the recap show. This is the first time we'll be watching the World Cup in over a decade. We know we're not alone with how we feel about the way people talk about women's sports. We want to be part of the solution.
Having been there many times before ourselves, Tobin and I are going to bring to you what it's like to play in a World Cup, what's really happening behind the scenes, all the good juicy bits.
The recap show will bring you gal culture at its finest. We all know what bro culture is, but what is gal culture? We're here to define it.
We have incredible guests joining us.
You're going to get the strongest perspective, the strongest minds the game has to offer.
This is our narrative, our culture, and we get to tell it our way.
Nobody can speak about the World Cup better than us. You'll hear it all on the recap show. Premiering July 20th, you're going to find the recap show everywhere. YouTube, TikTok, Twitter,
Instagram,
Threads.
and wherever you get your podcast.
Welcome to the recap.
Welcome to the show. LFG. This is a headgum podcast.
Today's episode of All Fantasy Everything is brought to you by HelloFresh. HelloFresh is the meal kit delivery service that makes cooking fun, easy, and convenient. Each week, HelloFresh creates new delicious recipes with step-by-step instructions designed to take around 30 minutes or so for everyone from novices, like me, to seasoned home cooks, like Jeremy Renner, probably. I don't know for sure, but I imagine that guy's got a lot going on. He could probably like make you a really delicious breakfast with whatever's in your fridge right now. Or you could use HelloFresh and make something amazing. HelloFresh sources the freshest ingredients measured to the exact quantities needed, so there's no food waste, which is a huge problem. There's billboards all over LA saying like, don't waste food. You know, once there's billboards, you know it's a problem. Like they've got all those ones for gonorrhea. HelloFresh employs a full-time registered dietitian on staff who reviews each recipe to ensure that it's nutritionally balanced. All of the meals are delivered to your doorstep in a special insulated box for free. For free. I mean, the insulated box is free. You're going to have to pay for the service. I mean, it's not, I'm not doing you that kind of a favor. I am doing you a pretty big favor because you can use promo code ALLFANTASY. Yep, promo code ALLFANTASY to go to HelloFresh Right now, you get $35 off your first week of deliveries, and you're going to want to do this. The food is, like, seriously good. They sent me some free stuff. It's delicious. I had the meatloaf balsamico with mashed sweet potatoes and green beans, and it was super good. And just Google a picture of me right now. Look at it, and trust that I know what I'm talking about when it comes to meatloaf. Look at a picture of me and see the hunger for meatloaf in my eyes. HelloFresh's meatloaf did not disappoint. Again, go to HelloFresh.com and enter promo code ALLFANTASY for $35 off your first week of deliveries. And just let them know that we sent you. And they're going to be stoked. You're going to be stoked. I'm going to be stoked. You're going to eat meatloaf. All right, on to the episode. Ladies and gentlemen, All Fantasy Everything, the podcast that drafts the whole wide world. Doesn't that sound fun and cute?
So cute.
Thank you very much. We're working on catchphrases.
Was there one in there?
Yeah, the podcast that drafts the I forgot it. I made it up and it's gone.
Very zippy.
And All Fantasy Everything, not your mama's. No, my mom doesn't listen to this. All Fantasy Everything. Your dad said to call him back.
He's not alive.
Yeah,
not
you must have set it from beyond the grave, my friend.
All fantasy everything. You guys want to get a basket of fries to the table?
Yes.
There it is.
Yes.
All right.
I can. You're so bad.
Yeah. No, come on. Everybody will have a couple. Today's episode, we are drafting casual dining restaurants. Shout out to the Dope Boys podcast, who I think are all about casual dining. The casual dining restaurant is a restaurant chain, but you sit down at it. So we're not talking about your Burger Kings, your McDonald's so much. We're talking about more.
Nice night out.
You'll see, it's a nice night out. It's Sioux Falls. It's where you go on a second date.
Maybe even a
or
fifth.
your first, or all of them.
Or your 40th wedding
Or all
anniversary.
dates.
Today, to draft casual dining restaurants, we have podcast favorite Sean Jordan.
What if it was somebody who wasn't from Sioux Falls and you said
And
that?
I just brought it up just in honor of you.
I'm thrilled to be here.
Bob Barker, everybody.
January Jones.
January Jones agreed to be on the podcast.
I like that we all know
We all
that.
know him.
You say it so
Tom
often.
Brokaw, no big deal.
Is it Mike Miller?
Mike Miller, yeah, he's from Mitchell, but close enough.
But the NBA's Mike Miller. big dream catcher tattoo on his shoulder.
Brock Lesnar, big tattoo of
Brock
cross
Lesnar.
on his chest, big corn-fed fella.
Oh, I didn't know that.
UFC.
You never dropped that one on me.
Bob Barker,
All
Brock
right.
Lesnar.
At Sean S. Jordan on Twitter. This will come out tomorrow. Are there any shows to plug for?
Not that I can think. March 8th in Portland, but beautiful. It's fun.
March 8th in Portland. All joining Sean and I. First timer, but hopefully going to be a long timer. Our friend, the brilliant comedian Amy Miller's in the house.
Hello.
And at Amy Miller on Twitter. You have an album out right now on Kill Rockstars Records called Solid Gold.
Yes, we're label buddies.
We are labeled, but I'm also on Kill Rockstars. We're on Kill Rockstars together. It's an amazing album. Go out and buy it right now. Is it still available on gold vinyl?
It is, yeah. I have a bunch, and I take them to shows. So.
Where can people see you in the next month or so?
Let's see. Next time, well, let's plug. I'll be at Sacramento Punchline next weekend with Dan Soder, and I'll have all the goods there with me.
That's an amazing show. You and Dan Soder. That's such a good.
Oh yeah, he's the best.
He is. I really love Dan Soder.
He's so good. Yeah, and he's like such a good actor.
Yeah.
You know, like not distracting in the way that a lot of comics where you're like, that's my friend.
Where they only know, and they like try to be stand-ups while they're
Yeah,
acting.
yeah.
That's what I always try to do. You know, they're like,
It's
I'll
hard.
take a coffee. You know?
I mean Carmel,
Yeah.
just every role.
I'm Ian Carmel, and my father was killed in the 9/11 attack. So, he wasn't, but in this role. You know?
I would watch that movie.
Just me being way too loud.
Yeah.
It's extremely loud and incredibly loud.
We'll watch a movie like that eventually. I mean, it'll happen.
Where one of us will have to be like in a dramatic role.
You will be.
But I don't see me
It'll be
doing
you.
it.
It ain't gonna be me.
The only dramatic role I'm interested in are the roles they bring out at casual dining restaurants.
Oh
What a
man.
transition.
Oh my
machine.
God! Professional. To determine the order of today's draft, we'll be playing a game of rock, paper, scissors between Amy and Sean. And again,
draft is serpentine.
Sure.
It's a serpentine draft.
Okay.
You draft third in the first round. You draft first in the second round.
It slithers like a snake.
got
Like a
you.
snake. And ready to go. Rock, paper, scissors, and shoot. That's all you got. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Scissors, rock, scissors, shoot.
Yeah.
Oh, Sean Jordan won, and you get to determine today's draft order.
Amy's going first.
Right?
I'm going second. You're going third. Ian,
Armel?
Amy, Sean, Ian.
Amy, Sean, Ian.
I like going in the middle. I like the middle. I don't know why.
Fantastic. Again, a serpentine draft. Serpentine draft.
Sort of like a snake.
It's going to be a quick one today because I got to get to the DMV, so this will take about an hour.
The Department of
Motor vehicles.
Sure, yeah.
Hear that,
so-
Highway Patrol? He's riding dirty.
Right, I've been riding.
No, he
dirty.
ain't.
He's
riding his miracle
whip
whip right now.
But normally I am riding dirty. My registration expired in August.
It takes too much time.
It's fucking forever. Okay, Andy, you have the first pick in the casual dining restaurant
All right.
fantasy draft.
I'm not a big sports fan, so I don't know. Like, do you go big right out of the gate?
You know, the main strategy is to take something you think's not going to be there. So whatever you think
Okay.
is the scarcest.
Then I feel that way about this. It's a big one.
Yeah.
Unlimited soup, salad, and breadsticks.
Oh, so we're talking like a Olive Garden.
Olive Garden.
Yes.
The Olive Garden. When you're there, your family.
That's what I hear.
The Olive Garden goes off the board first. I fucking love the Olive Garden, and I think it catches more shit than it deserves.
Love. And all three of those items are delicious, and you can change up your soup. Those breadsticks
Yeah.
alone. And yeah, I used to go a lot in high school because my boyfriend worked there.
Bragging on the
I
line.
know.
What did he do?
He was a server, and bringing home that cash, which is a lot when you're in high school. Like if you make like
Oh my
$80 in tips, you're like,
That's all the money there is.
what do you want me to do
You
for
spend
you?
$20 on a Sublime CD and
Yeah.
like Sam Goody
On a Sublime CD for your girlfriend.
for your girlfriend.
His would have
Your
been like
girlfriend, Amy Miller.
Wilco or something,
Yeah.
but yeah. And he always smelled like the Olive Garden. So now I still have like a little bit of a sexual connection if I smell the Olive
You
Garden.
walk in the Olive
Yeah, because I had lost my virginity to someone who smelled like the Olive Garden
The Olive
all
Garden.
the time.
This was the dude.
Yeah,
First one into your Olive Garden.
to get into my treasure box.
The first person to break into the
First
temple.
one to get my unlimited soup and salad.
And then give you unlimited breadsticks.
Yeah, and he did bring them home pretty often, and that's like the best thing. Like someone comes home with like cash and breadsticks, and you're 17, like
You're
I
slaying
can't
their
believe we're not married.
I worked at
Take it. Just take it.
Yeah.
I worked at a different Italian casual dining restaurant that I won't name in case it gets picked.
Yeah, sure.
But like I used to love, I would bring home like salad and bread, and then just like a jug of ranch, just a disgusting,
Yes.
just to dip both the bread and the salad into.
You got to.
Monster.
I'm a huge ranch fan, but I'll say the Olive Garden salad is one of the few that I'm like, for casual dining, like go with their vinaigrette.
It is a good vinaigrette.
Very tasty.
I don't know how the Olive Garden started catching so much shit. It's spaghetti. It's real hard to fuck up spaghetti, and they don't fuck it up.
It's just one of those things that people are scared to admit they like. Everybody
It is.
wants to. It's so easy to make fun of, and everyone's like, oh yeah, fuck the Olive Garden. Not fuck the Olive Garden. It's fantastic.
Oh, and listen,
I'm
like
all about it.
Yeah.
design-wise, ambience, you know they got all that ivy. You can get kind
Yes.
of a private table,
You get wine. They have like different kinds of
a
wine there.
carafe of wine.
Yeah, I love a carafe of wine.
Oh, it's
Oh,
the
yeah.
best.
We would have, I think we had a football team dinner at an Olive Garden during an endless pasta, and that was a mess.
Gotta carve up.
That was a real mess.
What?
We were doing
You
the-
mean the game was a mess the next day?
Everything was a mess. The game was a mess. Our insides were a mess. There were no lessons learned by anyone. The game was the next day, and still feeling, as an 18-year-old, 17, still feeling heavily laden down by pasta.
How much pasta? As a 17-year-old, you know how much pasta I would have had
Player,
to eat
yeah.
to make me feel tired the
You know
next
how much
day?
spaghetti we must have eaten? A whole football team. A whole football team, all of us 17 years old, eating unlimited pasta. There's no way the Olive Garden made money on that.
Back when you have no
Oh,
shame,
no.
by the way, you're like, give me more. And they're like,
Yeah.
we're giving you 5 plates. Give me more.
And I'll have 5 more.
I don't give a fuck. I'll be sitting here
Yeah.
when I feel like leaving. Yep, things you can't say, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the table that makes it all break even for them.
That is-
Like
yeah,
they
yeah.
assume most people have one plate, maybe another half.
Right. We brought right down to the red.
Yeah.
Right down to the red sauce. I also like, does the Olive Garden they'll play like really corny Italian music in the background?
Oh yeah, when the moon hits
Yes.
your eye. Oh yeah, they do the whole thing. I
I'm
feel like
very
you're in
into
The
that.
Sopranos.
I love that. I love
Because, like, that's the level of Italian I want to do. Like, now that I'm older and I have, like, a tiny bit of money, I'll go to, like, a nice Italian restaurant and have a good time.
Yes.
But what I really want is that fucking corny Goodfellas experience. You know what I mean? I want to show up. I want Tony Bennett to be playing. I want somebody to say marinara instead of marinara. That's all I want. I want the Disneyland. Marinara.
Our Olive Garden, I knew everyone that worked at it, all of my friends, and so it really soured the one that we had in town, because I'm like, I know what you do when you're not at work. Yeah, they're just, no, I'm not saying they like jacked off into it, I'm just saying like I knew how they were in life. I'm like, I don't
think I was in love with someone who would jack off into the Alfredo sauce.
Right?
I'd say that you were.
Okay.
When I worked at a casual dining restaurant, the Get On In, everyone was very clean. Maybe that was Portland, Oregon, but everyone was like nobody was like a scummy person who did anything.
Yeah, I think the percentage of people that do stuff like that is very, very small.
I think it's
People need their job.
There's nowhere to do it. It's so busy and like well lit in the back. Yeah.
These people were just dirtbags in general. They weren't like doing stuff to the food. I just knew how they existed outside of the restaurant.
But they weren't cooks.
A couple of them were, yeah.
Oh, well,
They were
that's a
just
different
gross
story.
They like ran the whole
Don't eat at the Sioux Falls Olive Garden.
Don't.
well,
Even before.
yeah.
Speaking of the Sioux Falls Olive Garden, let's get the Sioux Falls favorite son.
All right.
Coming to make the second pick, the first round of the All Fantasy Everything Casual Dining Experience.
Second pick of the All Fantasy Everything Casual Dining Experience is going to be Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh, you motherfucker!
Like I didn't know. I don't live with you. What are we doing? Of course. Fuck. That had to be the first pick.
Yes. Oh yeah, we had the whole restaurants.
All right.
Yeah.
What
about all the Olive Garden?
Okay.
You think it was just one item at those places?
Yeah.
That's also good.
I'm going to keep it pretty specific, though.
You can keep it specific. Let's use it as a gateway.
All right.
You get the whole Olive Garden. You get the whole
Perfect.
Buffalo Wild Wings.
I mean, if we
So
were getting
jealous.
specific,
You
I would say
motherfucker.
spicy garlic.
Oh, their sauces.
Their sauces are so good. And lemon pepper.
That's another one. I go round and round with my friends. They're like, they hate on it. They're like, they're not real wings. Just because it's more popular doesn't make it worse.
How's it not a real win? By the way, now in Portland, Fire on the Mountain for me.
All day.
Apex of the chicken.
All day, all day.
But in Los Angeles, I haven't had the chicken wing that's better than Buffalo Wild Wings yet.
No.
It's not duck à l'orange. You know, it doesn't take like a high level of expertise. It involves an elbow,
Sure.
dipping a basket into some fried shit, and then pulling it out, and then putting sauce on
You
it.
don't even need quality chicken.
You don't need quality
No.
chicken.
Putting like the sauce on. Their sauces. They're like the only place where I've purchased the sauce and brought it home.
Yeah. It's so
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Really? I didn't know you'd done that.
I've never done it anywhere else. I've
What
bought
do you put
spicy.
on? Just like a chicken breast?
I do everything. You've seen me with hot sauce. I mean,
Sean puts hot sauce on salad.
And hot sauce on hot sauce.
On hot sauce on hot sauce. But have you seen him put hot sauce on salad
No,
before, Amber?
it sounds pretty. I've
I've
done
never
that.
seen it. You've done that too?
Sure, yeah.
Am I living in this world?
We're sitting on the couch and I had some sriracha on a salad and Ian just sits up and he goes, I've never seen anything like
never
that.
You
seen
can have a little spice and acidity. Why not?
I mean, yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense,
Who
I
wants to
guess.
shit salad when they're 60?
This shit's crazy to me. I've never seen anything like it. You could have poured broken glass out of that salad. I would have been less surprised. Hot sauce doesn't seem like just lettuce with hot sauce. You know, this seems crazy to me.
Tasty.
Yes, maybe not.
Put it on those croutons.
you know-
Soak it up a little bit.
We're all just crazy atoms floating around in the big vacuum of nothing, you know what I mean? I put a little hot sauce onto my food that goes into my atoms.
Fucking A. This.
Spicy
Okay,
dude.
now, I still don't understand. I don't think I'll ever understand. Tabasco, like it wasn't. Did you put Tabasco or was my crazy? Was it just?
It might have been Tabasco. Yeah, I can't remember. I'm a condiment person. Always have
Like
been.
there's no judge. I am not.
Then wouldn't
sauce
give me
boss.
back-to-back life sentences for that.
Back-to-back life sentences. The hot sauce on your
Judge, could I have a word? Get in there. Get in the box. No, you can't.
No, I mean that's why buffalo chicken salad is probably my favorite. One of my favorite foods.
Cheese dressing on it. Oh,
Yeah, you get some cheese or something like creamy to balance out the hot sauce, but that's why it's delicious. You're eating hot sauce on salad already. You just won't cop to it. If it's on a menu, it's 100% the thing that I get. Or a wrap, buffalo chicken
I
wrap
love
or
the
salad.
fire of the Buffalo.
I can't avoid it.
I clearly have a lot of soul searching. The fried pickles are a pretty good chain fried pickle.
Sure, they
Oh,
have.
yeah.
Don't they have it? What are they called? Like pickle nickels? They should be if they're not. But they're called something, right? Like pickle coins,
Yeah, pickle coins.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pickle nickels.
medallions?
nickels.
Pickle medallions?
That might be it. You know what? One thing I love about Buffalo Wild Wings is that I don't really mix beer and food. I either get drunk or I eat a meal. I don't
Yeah.
really mix both. And that's one of the places where I'm like, okay, give me 9 wings and like 5
Okay.
huge beers, and I'll,
Yes.
I'll walk out of the Americana a little drunker than
It's
the
You're
rest when I
drinking, it's
walk in.
drinking food.
Watch every game that's on in the world.
They're
And-
all
No matter the sport,
Yeah.
they're all on.
There's
People
not
watch like just women's horse racing. It's not a thing, but like they somehow have a feed of it.
And there's not like a ton of assholes for the most part. Everybody's kind of like subdued in a Buffalo
Yeah.
Wild Wings.
I've run into an asshole of Big Wags, which is a regional LA.
Was it the one in NoHo?
Yeah, that
The guy
one.
that looked at your, at the time, girlfriend, and he's like, it's the wrong hat.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck you, dog.
Yeah, she's wearing a blazer hat.
Wow.
He's giving her beef.
I was pissed all day about that until we went to the cat circus later in the day.
Also, I love the. Yeah, I'm again going back to that Olive Garden thing. I'm fully embraced just like the what if it is corn or whatever.
It's there for a
It's
reason.
everyone's happy there for a reason too.
Here's the people call it BW3s.
BBW is
Drop it on 'em.
twist.
Buffalo Wild Wings. People
Yeah.
call it BW3s. That third W, it's research. It stands for WEC.
He told me this the other day.
Which is in Buffalo, in upstate New York, beef on weck is like basically a French dip sandwich, but weck is a kind of roll.
Oh, right.
I hear people calling it BW3s. They're not idiots who don't understand how words are spelled. They probably are, but they're not fully that. They're just commenting
Buffalo
on an
Wild
older
Wings, weck?
iteration. Buffalo Wild Wings and weck.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that is a clunky fucking name, so
It
they
is.
cleaned it up a little bit.
Buffalo Wild
You,
Wings.
you can use a little soft bread to soak up that spice though. Basically there you need anything that you can dip in anything.
It's a great dipping place.
So fried pickle, French fry, a wing, whatever.
You know, a fun move is to get
Sauces.
a wing and then get a dip. I do this in part of the mouth all the time. Never done it in B-dubs, but like you get, say, like, spicy garlic and then get mild on the side. You dip the spicy garlic in the mild.
Oh yeah.
It's fun.
The worst is
really.
when you go with someone timid who's like, I don't want to bother. I don't
You
want to
almost
bother
left.
the server for more sauces. I'm like, that's what we're here for.
Yes, for more sauces.
That's why you tip, like, just a
She's
tip.
not bothered.
Live your life. Step up to the plate. She's gonna come back to the kitchen anyway.
And we're never going to be like the peak of how many sauces people have gotten.
No, you won't even be the peak that
Yeah,
day.
right.
No, we'll be
No.
the standard.
There's
Never,
definitely
ever.
people there who are like, take your time.
Yeah.
Take the fucking wine glass. I don't know if you're trying to do. This is out to my accent reel. Lord, if you're listening. Just fill a pint glass with like garlic parmesan or whatever. You know they've heard that. Like probably that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's why they don't just put it out there either.
Right.
Like a southern barbecue place will just put all the big jugs of sauce
Yeah.
with the little paper cups.
You know-
Buffalo Wild Wings, they go right under.
They go right. They go immediately.
Yeah. I would-
Wingstop, in my opinion, better wing. Not a set deals. Not even eligible for this round. Better wing.
Yes,
Worse sides.
absolutely.
Buffalo Wild Wing.
Yeah.
A little worse wing, way better sides. Not even a competition.
Wingstop has cheap wing days, and they're still actually kind of cheap.
Yeah.
Again, this is coming from a real broke person. But Buffalo Wild Wings, their cheap wing days keep getting, they're like 85 cents a wing on cheap wing day. I'm like, that's not fucking cheap. That's 40 cents a wing. That's cheap.
Hooters is so right. Wednesday,
Maybe we'll
which
be
is
talking about it.
on Tuesday for some reason. No,
Moving on to Buffalo Wild Wings. On to the final pick of the first round.
Serpentine round.
Of 5 serpentine rounds. Of the 5 rounds. Ian Carmel, who is me, takes Red Robin. God.
I knew it.
When we decided the topic, the first thing that popped in my head, I never thought I'd get it, but here I am. Top of the throne and endless fries.
Those were my two top picks anyway.
So tasty.
fucking
It's
love it.
legitimately good food
It's
though.
legitimately good. It really is. I don't like. It's better than a lot of like one-off burgers I've had.
Yes.
Bonnie Burger is the like the it's a local chain that everyone goes crazy about here in Los Angeles. I remember
Yeah.
when Camille Nangiani and I were talking on Twitter, and I was like, Portland has 5 burger places that are better than Umami.
Absolutely.
He was like, no, they don't. You're just being like, It's not that good. Red Robin is better than fucking umami
So
burger.
good.
We had a day there the other day, and it was I had a double patty and a mac and cheese, and mac and cheese was on my burger.
Yeah.
And we had an onion ring tower.
I had the blue ribbon burger.
God, it was so good. Now we started off an amazing day with Red Robin.
I like the they got the jalapeno avocado chipotle burger.
Yeah,
It's
I know
spicy
what's up.
everything. You can also substitute a veggie patty if you like.
You can go. They were one of the
Which
first
is
people I saw where you
gracious.
could go no bun. Just get
Yes.
that lettuce wrap.
Oh, they'll accommodate you
So-
to hell and back.
All they do is want to make you happy. All they want to do is make you happy there.
And you can pay from your table.
They have these new units. You just pay for your table.
I always play those games too.
Yeah.
Always. The little Scrabble game.
You can get
$2.
Scrabble game.
Who cares?
Huh?
Yeah.
Especially if you go with someone who you're not really interested in talking to that
My
much.
boyfriend. I'm
Like
just
your
kidding.
boyfriend, right? Jordan.
Yeah. If you're just like hanging out with one of your friends, you're like, I got nothing to say to you.
I was growing up. I fulfilled a crucial role, like friends, which was the let's get surprised for the table guy, which I mentioned earlier.
That's a good guy.
I'm that guy. We would sit down, server would come up. All right, drinks for anybody? You know, 4 Sprites or whatever. It was me, LeBron James, right?
Jamar Neighbors is also in that.
And we're all very young at the time.
And I was always like, yeah, can we get some fries for the table? Honey mustard ranch. And I point to people who hadn't requested those sausages. Honey
You just
mustard
know
ranch. I just wanted them. And
So if you
they'll start bringing up because it's bottomless fries, and they'll start bringing them from right when you sit down.
So if you order fries for at the table, do they charge you like each individual person pays for? It's just one basket of
I
fries.
just assume that someone's gonna get something that comes with fries.
Well, then I would assume that Ian, if he's basket of fries from the table guy, who's paying for the basket of fries.
Yeah,
That's a good friend.
Oh, here's the thing: you don't pay for that basket of fries because somebody's gonna get a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
And that comes with bottomless fries.
Oh, okay.
That's just co-opted the price of that cheeseburger that is yet to be purchased.
That's
That
awesome.
also seems like how they not gone under.
Right? But they haven't because they just hopefully somebody's funding the sequel.
It's because I'm buying those $2 Scrabble games.
Yeah, right, exactly. That's
Which
right.
is not called, it's called like Scrapple or something.
Wooden word jumble.
Yeah.
I love Red Robin. The first thing I ever stole was fry seasoning from them.
Yeah.
And it's not just Lowry's?
It's probably just loud.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
good fry
It
season.
is. I love the decor. I love that wacky Americana decor.
Yeah.
I'm full blown in.
Didn't you
With like
get-
red, white, blue baseballs or whatever?
Did you get ushered out of a Red Robin one time for too many fries? Or am I thinking no? Okay. Good.
Somehow not me.
If it was, it'd be an embarrassing thing to just reveal without his permission.
No, not like you ate too many fries, but like got
You
too
went
many
to
for the table
jail?
or something.
I can see for sexually assaulting that Bear McCheese mascot. No, I was never ushered out. In fact, the opposite. Welcome with open arms. But also, me and my other football players, we would go because it was like right down the street from our high school. And it got to the point where they knew us, and when we ordered sodas, they stopped bringing out the regular glasses and just started bringing out giant steins of soda.
The bucket.
And just putting those down. Look you guys up.
That's
He was like
sick.
the cool waiter. You know,
Yeah.
got you guys.
I wish you would just flip over your football helmets and drink out of those.
Right?
The straw, that's what I'm picturing.
It's a giant orange Gatorade.
Oh, we have our own cups.
Yeah, we're good.
Get in the helmet, fill this with fries on your way back.
So Red Robin, that's my first pick.
Sure.
First pick. My second pick, it's tough. God, head or heart. Head or heart.
Oh, it's heart. Ian, you're all heart.
Tony Roma's a place for ribs. That's what
I've never been to a Tony
it's
Roma's.
so good. They're not in Oregon anymore.
I want to
We're in
go.
California.
I went to one in Omaha, Nebraska.
Oh, that's probably why, 'cause that's where I spend my time.
But they used to be more spread out, and they seem to have contracted a little bit, like the CNN, cast by a president. And
Yes, they're gathering their forces.
they're gathering their forces, hopefully to expand again. Just like I don't know good ribs from Adam. I have no idea. I'm sure, like if I went to Memphis,
You would know.
Tony Roma's, they'd
Yeah.
be like, that's not a rib or whatever. From where I was growing up, you could get again endless ribs. There's a theme here. If we could get endless ribs, they have these platters that you might as well have been included. So they were coming like half a chicken and like so many ribs and like a giant sausage and
Pork ribs?
pork ribs, I think. Yeah, pork ribs.
You're an
for sure.
excellent Jew.
And then with the value was there. There's actually in the Torah it says.
That is true.
Yeah. If it's an immense value, you're allowed to eat pork. And it was. The prices were
And
so
you're helping
low.
out your Italian friends.
Yeah, exactly. My friend Tony Romo. It was just so good. There's not a whole lot else to say about it, other than I remember the last time I ever went. There used to be one in Portland near the convention center, and also right by a pig ball place. It was for my birthday, and I went and ate so many ribs, and they were spicy ribs. And I was with like dad. I think I was with, took like a picture of me, like, hey, birthday picture. And I saw the picture, and it was my face covered in rib sauce, my lips cherry red from how spicy they were. Me just with a full meat bloat, just
So happy.
so happy, and I was just like, I can't go back for a
I
while.
feel like there's a side we're missing the story on. Like you were just house and ribs. There's not like a bread situation or a potato.
It comes with it, but I would never even fuck with it.
You
Get in the way of
don't
me
even
eating
look at
ribs.
it.
Yeah. We miss you, Tony Romas. I hope it comes back.
For sure.
It's probably still around.
It is, but it's around in like the South and stuff like that.
I mean,
places that need it are like LA, the West Coast, places that aren't known for their smoked meats. So
I'm gonna go. I do see it on the road sometimes, but on the road I kind of stick to like the chains I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
I'm gonna branch out next time.
Please branch out.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm gonna visit Tony Romas.
There's a couple of chain restaurants that I've never been to, but I'm hoping to get picked, so I can talk about it. So let's see if Sean picks one. And it's time for your second pick.
Hey, it ain't gonna be one you've never been to. It's gonna be Applebee's.
Oh, the bees.
Oh, the
Bees in the
bees.
trap.
The bees in the trap. Bees in the trap. I went to prom at Applebee's. Prom dinner at Applebee's.
Well,
Dance was not also at Apple.
The dance was the All Riot Shrine Mosque.
That was at a mosque?
Yeah.
Your prom was at a mosque in Sioux Falls?
What they call the mosque.
Well,
good thing nobody put a pipe bomb in it that day.
were you able to have it there because there were no Muslims to use the mosque in Sioux Falls?
They could just be calling it that. I mean, that's what they call it, but it just looked like
It was just shaped like a mosque.
it just looked like
It
a
was
banquet hall to me. I mean, it's just
The Mexican guy
downtown.
worked there, so they were like, this big mosque.
It was, that's where we had.
Why Applebee's?
I love Applebee's. It's a good deal. I just have good memories of Applebee's. Is my thing too. We used to go hang out at Applebee's in Minneapolis all the time after we skated, and we used to sit there and get drunk, treat it like a bar.
Yeah.
I like it because you can kind of treat it like a bar.
They have good
And
cocktails
in a
too.
clutch, if you're like,
Yes.
we're in Golden Valley, Minnesota,
Absolutely.
where's a bar? And they're like, well, there's Applebee's. So you just go handle yourself at Applebee's. Also, a very good deal.
It
And
is a good
food.
deal.
It's another one of those places where people are like, oh, I don't want to go to Applebee's. Do you really not want to go to Applebee's?
Yeah,
People
you
saying
do.
that.
It
because
is unfairly viewed.
I feel like most of what we're going to say is people hate on food.
I've never heard a crossword about 21. But yeah, I have about Applebee's.
No one's bad.
No one's been. Well, if we keep it a secret.
You cleared out all the ribs in 2001.
I like Applebee's is always coming at me with new shit, too. They're always coming out with new, like, menu options, which is a nice thing.
Oh yeah, and they'll throw out some healthy menu options.
Yeah.
And it's got like a good salad idea, like a
And
Chinese
crispy
chicken.
Yes.
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 Those little crisps on top.
Those crisps are those like the noodly crisp things. They're so
Delicious.
fun. And it's really it really is healthy.
Yes.
Like it's
Especially
like 400 calories.
an on the road thing where you're just like, I've had all the fast food already.
You do have to think about that when it's like Saturday, you
Yeah.
know, and you're on the road and you're like, I can't.
Yeah, Applebee's they'll even give you like a side of steamed broccoli or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna be shocked when you order it,
They are.
but then you have to go.
Buy broccoli.
I'm a comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't had a green thing in 3 weeks.
Yeah. Other than I guess when it was that Irish beer. But yeah, Applebee's is good for that.
And I haven't been, there aren't any. Our friend Jacob, I was driving back.
Christopher?
Jacob Siroff.
Oh,
That's the
Jacob
gentleman's
Siroff.
name.
Your friend.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
My friend Jacob was saying that he and his lady go to Applebee's for like a date night every now and again because the closest one's like 30 miles away or
Yeah.
something in LA. Like you just can't find one.
So it feels special.
Yeah, it's like a treat for him. And I was like, okay. I mean, that sounds fun.
Take it out of town a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, you make a night. Wherever you end up, it's like by Six Flags or something.
Oh, it's
Don't
in
know.
Anaheim?
I mean,
That makes sense.
Yeah, somewhere.
Or,
And,
oh no, Six Flags, right? Oh, up at Magic Mountain?
yeah, maybe.
Oh, yeah, that's not too far.
That does make sense, yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be an hour getting back, though. I have my boyfriend's best friend works at Applebee's, and he recently went on a date.
I don't work at Applebee's.
Would be a big reveal.
Yeah.
And he went on a first date and took the lady to his own Applebee's where he works, even though he doesn't get a discount. Which is my only knock on Applebee's right now. No employee discount.
That's crazy.
Really
It
stingy.
should be free. If you bring a date there, they should just be like,
Yeah, he works there, took a date there on his off night, no
he just
discount.
wanted to bring a date and pay full price, but have everybody be like, hey, what's up, dude?
Hey,
How
it's
you
you,
how
we
you
know
doing?
you.
It's like just a really sad version of that scene from Goodfellas.
Yeah.
When they let him into the kitchen.
Yeah. They don't let him in. He just walks in through the kitchen. They're like, hey, man.
Yeah.
He had to do
Nobody
dishes.
recognized him because the kitchen staff because the turnover rate is so high.
What are you doing back here? I work here. Oh,
They
okay.
made him
Go
get
ahead.
his own sauces
Yeah,
all
yeah.
night.
When he goes to sit down at the table, there's not like a comedian, there's just a couple fighting in the bar. You know, but there's a
I did a show at an Applebee. Did you
I
guys
did
ever
too.
do those?
That one in the Lloyd's and Applebee's show?
I forgot about. I did
No.
one in Gresham, but yeah, I mean, there were for this dude in Portland, John Green.
Jealous.
Used to book stand-up shows that he wouldn't tell anybody working or anybody eating that there was going to be a stand-up show. You would just do it in the bar at an Applebee's. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. I wiped it from my memory.
Horrible.
That was one of the worst shows I've ever done in my life. Broad daylight.
Broad daylight, right?
Nobody's expecting
Show was
it.
like at 6.
Children.
Who wanted it? Is what I
Nobody,
need to know.
nobody.
Because it's not like Applebee's
Maybe one of the managers at Applebee's, like the day manager at Applebee's.
decided they need entertainment. Put on a TV. That's what people want.
Right? That's all people want. Is to talk to the
Don't
person
judge
they're there with.
Judy.
What a fucking, we can say this is cool. What a headache. What a nightmare it would be if you went out. You work all goddamn week. You're taking your wife to Applebee's for some riblets or whatever.
Seriously.
And then you're there, and then we're up there telling our like fucking fuck jokes or
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh, wait, so many times have you just ended up apologizing in situations?
So many
I do it
I'm so sorry
constantly.
for doing stand-up. I'm so sorry.
And
I
then,
need
like,
this $10.
the comic before would like talk, wow, you guys aren't listening. I'd get up and be like, I don't expect you to listen. I wouldn't listen. I'm sorry, I'm wrecking your night. I'll do 10 minutes on the dot, and I'll get out of here.
Sports Center is muted, but you have to listen. What kind of world is this?
Yeah.
Those guys are professionals.
Such a bad idea.
That is a bad idea. Now, a good idea, Amy, would be to get your second pick. I'm so excited to find out what it is.
Okay, near and dear to my heart, for more reasons than just the food, Cracker Barrel.
The Cracker
Sure,
Barrel.
sure,
The
sure.
whole thing. I was gonna go more specific, but now I know we're taking full restaurants.
Well,
so,
what would that specific thing be? Because I've never been to a Cracker Barrel.
well, the specific thing is really the kitsch and the gift shop. So Cracker Barrel, it's like a southern breakfast place. It's modeled after that. So there's like a gift shop,
Yeah.
and there's all these like things that would be in your grandmother's house all over the place,
Like
like
cozies.
fake flowers and cozies, yeah, and little piggy banks and shit like that.
Are they Cracker Barrel branded, or are they just like that's where you go to buy food?
I think that they're all pretty much the same. You can buy them, but they're also scattered around the restaurant, so you really feel like you're eating at home.
Yeah.
They have like a porch with rocking chairs that you can sit on.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh
Really
yeah.
fun. You can go like digest a little bit even on the porch.
It
and
looks
just,
like it's in an old mining town. Like there's a wooden porch
It's the
and
one that's still open.
yeah.
Where are they? Is that Southern chain for the most part?
Mostly southern, yeah. I mean they're kind of everywhere, but yeah, mostly in the south. You get a good breakfast that comes out so fast you're almost alarmed. Like it might as well be fast food because if you get like 2 eggs and bacon and a biscuit, it probably takes 30 seconds
Like
to
they're
arrive at.
constantly just making it the wrong way. Omelets in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So they're ready when you want it.
It comes so fast.
They make cheese, right? I've seen their cheese at grocery stores at Cracker Barrel.
Oh yeah, like a little block of just cheddar cheese. Oh yeah, they have a whole line of products. And part of the reason I love it is Dolly Parton, my favorite. 2 albums ago, she just released it through Cracker Barrel.
What?
And nothing else.
You can just buy your
Dope.
own.
She didn't even sell it online.
Just physical copies at the Cracker
Yes.
Barrel.
That's a very limited
That's
release.
so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Why do we? I mean, no shade on Beyonce. I love Beyonce, but she dropped that Secret album, and everyone was like, "Amazing! What a cool way to distribute an album." Cracker Barrel, that's the real news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's
Beyonce
crazy.
had just released that album at like Fridays
Right.
or whatever, and nowhere else. Wouldn't you go to TGI Fridays? Because you want to go already.
Yeah.
So
Who's
then,
gonna get that? For the most part, that Dolly Parton is gonna be in a Cracker Barrel.
oh, exactly.
True story.
Yeah, I was like, oh, guess I have to go to Cracker Barrel.
Might as well get some mashed potatoes while I'm there.
Whoops, I forgot to buy it that time. I guess I'm going in tomorrow.
Oh yeah, the mashed potatoes and gravy. You know, they dig out that little hole of mashed
That's-
potatoes.
that's
with
what
the
I like.
gravy and
Love
Little
that.
gravy lake in there.
it's
for
just
you.
an extra touch that feels so nice.
It does feel sort of because they just dip the ladle and then pour it in
Yeah, it
there.
doesn't take long.
It's a more practical version of the sourdough clam chowder.
Yeah.
Because that's hot, to be
And-
honest, but like it's just a tiny little divot.
It's
Gravy.
thoughtful because I don't know who the people are in the world that don't want gravy on everything, but I know that they probably exist.
They're liars.
So it keeps your gravy contained
It does.
to accommodate those fucking losers.
Yeah.
So I can take things and dip it into the gravy and have it actually get into the gravy, not have to spin around.
That is a good call.
Well, with
Yeah.
that, I do like having a reservoir so I can
Yeah.
soak up like the bread better, but I also like it on everything.
I do too. It's crazy to me when people get like Thanksgiving dinner and don't just, when they're like, well,
Not
just gravy on
everything.
this. And I'm like,
Cranberries, I don't care.
100%. Put the gravy in the cranberries. What am I?
Put the gravy in.
My pure cranberries? They're even on the plate.
Put it in your wine. I don't care.
yeah, cranberry, that's the healthy part of this meal. So,
Yeah, the cranberries, lucky it's on the plate. I honestly don't even know who invited it to dinner. I don't want to go off on a big tangent, but fuck cranberries.
Oh.
And fuck their place at the Thanksgiving
What are
table.
you talking to?
I don't
need
get it.
them.
I don't get it for a second.
Not even the canned cranberry sauce.
Those I like more.
Oh, okay, yeah,
And the fact that they go, when it comes out, I
Yeah.
like that noise. If I'm not there for that noise,
Very
And then
sexual.
you can
noise.
see the can, you can see the outline of the can on it, and you're like,
I love that. I love that. So when you take off pants that are too tight, you know, you kind of got like the seam on line on your
Yeah.
leg, you know, like
some human
Yeah.
cranberries.
Why didn't Andy Warhol ever paint just that standing cranberry
Yeah.
shower?
Why didn't
Who cares about Campbell's
Yeah.
soup?
I feel Jeff Koons could make like a ultra realistic cranberry thing, and I would buy it. Well, I would. I don't know, $42, but I'd go look at it. Cracker Barrel, excellent pick. Now, Andy, this is a serpentine round. You also have the first pick of the third round.
Oh, okay. This is big news. Man, I went so specific with my picks, but I'm just gonna keep. I'm gonna keep Johnny Rockets.
Johnny Rockets.
Which I started from a very small item, which is the jukebox at the table.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Play your own song. You choose. It's just for your table. It's a nickel.
Yep.
Everyone else can fuck off.
Fuck right off.
I want to listen to Frankie Valli. I don't care if you listen to the Beatles at your table.
Go ahead. We're Beatles and a Johnny Rockets doesn't quite fit in. This is that early album. So what are they doing over at that other table anyway? You're on the right track with the Frankie Valli.
That's true. The early Beatles, they do early Beatles in
Yeah,
those
yeah.
machines.
I love Johnny Rockets. I love the patty melt and the Johnny Rockets.
Oh, so tasty.
Yeah.
I love, the outfits, the branding.
It's great.
I like a place that still forces a teenager to wear something embarrassing.
Yes. Yes.
It's part of the job.
Yeah,
Part of the job.
you should have to. Like,
Brad Campbell in fucking Fast Times when he's throwing all his pirate shit out the window. That should happen to every kid who works at a restaurant.
yes, it makes you stronger. It makes you a good adult that appreciates the service industry.
Your Johnny Rockets, your hot dogs on the stick, right?
Orange Julius.
Julius.
That's
That
awesome.
guy who has to clean my pool.
Also named Orange Julius.
Orange. Johnny Rockets, I feel like there's something to say about Johnny Rockets. You never been?
Never heard of it.
I've never heard of
Are you
it.
serious?
There's one on Melrose.
Yeah.
Or it was.
There's one
No,
in the
right?
Burbank Mall.
Maybe, okay. Is it the hot dog on a stick place?
No.
Oh,
That's called hot dog on a stick.
It is, really?
Yeah.
Johnny Rockets will often occupy the same spot as Red Robin on the outside of the mall,
Yeah.
where it's like you see JCPenney, Sears, and then a glowing Johnny Rocket
Yeah.
sign or Red Robin.
Nothing's like coming to. Maybe if I saw it, I would be like, oh yeah, totally. But not right. As
It's
of right
like
now.
it's like a Jackrabbit Slim's kind of cheeseburgery 50s kitschy
Yeah,
place.
I'm getting the vibe.
Also, good burgers.
Good burgers, good milkshakes, affordable.
Sure.
Yeah.
Very cheap.
And they dress up cute.
They do.
Yeah.
I mean, who can hate on that? I'm in.
It's a no where you go to the sock hop and then take your girl out to eat.
Yeah.
I know Sean's always sock hopping.
We're always sock
For
hoppers.
days.
Yeah.
I couldn't afford shoes growing up in my mom's apartment, as you love to hate on so much.
I just think
We
it's
didn't grow up
was saying something like, yeah, you know, remember when you like woke up in your apartment? She's like, no, Sean, we grew up in houses.
Yeah.
I
did not.
appreciated it because I like to have friends that were even poorer than me. Because we had a house, but you know, it's barely a house. And there's too many people in it. But like,
Prairie
yeah.
winds,
He just
Charles
dropped it out of nowhere one day. Just like, yeah, so I was like, me and my mom were at the apartment, and I was like, excuse me, did you go to college together? Can't just slip that in there.
Yeah, I'm in a cul-de-sac. I can't relate to that at all.
Well, it's specifically because you're from Sioux Falls, too. Like, that's next level poverty. If you're from New York City, like, Manhattan apartment, fine.
Yeah.
But
Sioux Falls apartment.
you could have gotten a
probably, like,
freestanding structure.
I don't know what rent was, but I bet it was like $3 a month.
Love it. Chisel, Evans, and cheap.
They all have really good names, too. Like, the complex names, he remembers all of them.
Prairie winds, Charleston courts. Yeah,
Nice.
Country Meadows.
Oh, yeah.
I got beat into a gang in Country Meadows.
Is it really? Something called Prairie Winds is either $200 a month or $200,000 a month.
Prairie winds sounds like a fifth of like the cheapest whiskey you can buy. You get a fifth of Prairie winds.
Oh, yeah, that's what
They found the bottle of Prairie Winds still.
the prairie winds were just like cheap beer farts coming from your neighbors.
Johnny Rockets, amazing pick. Sean Jordan, when you were living in the Prairie Winds,
You're right.
what were some of the casual dining restaurants you liked?
This
What's your
is
third pick?
my third pick is going to be Pizza Hut.
Whoa, that's interesting.
That is
because
interesting.
they
It's a
deliver.
gray area.
Oh,
I'll allow it.
We went to sit down at Pizza Hut and got the buffet constantly.
I remember the first time I realized you could do that. My
Yeah.
mind was blown. It wasn't until high school that I knew it was a sit-down.
Not everyone is a sit-down place.
Well, this
What's
is
all the Domino's?
we didn't have.
It is a hut.
True.
I remember when we got like Pizza Hut delivery, and that's when I was like,
Pizza Igloo.
because we never got it delivered. We always went and sat down. My mom and stepdad would go on their dates.
Except that snake eye.
Snake Eye.
Yeah.
They would go on date. He looked pissed constantly, so we called him Snake Eye from a very young age. And they would go on dates and like drag. You know, I would go with and play Pac-Man in like the little corner booth, and it was fantastic. And I learned what 3-bean salad was at Pizza Hut.
Oh.
That's where you had your first 3-bean salad?
It's my only 3-bean salad.
They have
Did I
that in
ever
the
have.
round table buffet too. It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing to eat.
I hear the word fanatic is fourth bean.
Well,
Nervous?
they better pump our brakes.
Big.
What's that fourth bean gonna be? I don't need.
Trump's America's
Across
crazy.
America,
No,
yeah.
not my
They're getting rid of all these regulations.
My president doesn't throw
It's a jelly bean.
A popcorn flavored jelly bean.
It wouldn't be the worst.
We still, like, whenever I'm back and there's like a birthday or something, or my grandpa wants to go eat, we just always to Pizza Hut. Always.
Yeah, really?
Always go sit at Pizza Hut.
Yeah, you're blowing my mind because I definitely would. I didn't think of any pizza restaurants. That's just like a different category in my
Me too.
head.
Me too.
It was like almost my first pick was Pizza Hut.
Shout out to the crust and the stuff.
Oh,
I love
dude.
that thing.
For days.
I love stuff.
Yeah.
You don't understand, I love it.
Yeah.
And I love all their delivery.
Messy.
Messy.
Cheese that doesn't exist anywhere but inside the crust
Sure.
of pizza.
The only knock on their delivery is they don't have a pizza tracker.
They don't. I love the pizza tracker.
But
Yes.
it's cheaper and better pizza.
Even if the pizza tracker's lying to me, I don't care. Fine. Whatever.
Oh, you're on the beach.
Yeah.
You got time.
Yes, yeah.
You're in a dance club or whatever.
Yeah.
I
Order
saw
a pizza in the dance club.
someone pull a pizza out of the hot and ready car the other day out of your house.
Oh, it's so great.
They pulled it right out, and I was like, "That's what it's like."
I just
Smoke
had
was
that
coming
for the
out,
first time.
like the fly just got out of there or
Car with
something.
nothing in it.
It was tight. But yeah, Pizza Hut. There it
What's your go-to move? You don't need mushrooms.
is. For pizza,
Yeah.
it really any meat. My go-to move lately has been sausage and green pepper.
Interesting.
A lot of people, a lot of people
love green pepper.
Yeah.
In our house, you bring green pepper in?
No. I don't get delivery to
The
the
problem
house.
with green pepper on like a chain pizza is it's always a little overcooked. Like if I'm gonna have the pepper there, give me like some crunch and some nutrients out of it.
I
So by
like
the
green
time
pepper
About it?
cooked to the point where no longer exists.
oh, see, no.
Pizza Hut, amazing pick.
I feel like I bummed you guys. Didn't want to bum you out.
No, I'm truly shocked and amazed at your innovation.
Yeah, I'm a real trash innovator.
But it's true. I mean, a pizza place with a salad bar, like that's this family. You know, you're sharing everything.
You you are. You're reaching over.
Sizzler.
No, excuse me.
And there's no anything that's like unlimited. See, because I'm the youngest child of fat people, and I didn't get food unless it was unlimited. You know, like I need to be able to control my own items, or I won't get any of anything. I would starve.
There's no milk
Because
left.
everybody got to it first.
Right.
So yeah, like a Pizza Hut salad bar is like kind of my own thing. And I mean, not that someone wouldn't put their fucking hand in it and take some anyway, but like
Got whatever was
that's
left.
just regular bullying.
Amazing pick with Pizza Hut. It's time for my third pick. I'm going to go with PF Chang's.
Whoa, never been.
Bistro.
Yeah, I've never
Not
been.
only have I been, I've worked in two different ones.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I worked for the first time I lived in Los Angeles when I was just moving to Grand Rapids. I worked for PF Chang's in Florence at the Del Amo Fashion Center.
And where did you live?
South Central.
Far from Torrance, right?
Far from Torrance.
Yeah.
It took an hour to get there. But that's where I got the job. That was right by USC. And then I worked at the one that's no longer there, the Pearl District, downtown Portland, Oregon. Sure.
This is what I respect about PF Chang's. Never been to one, can't speak to the food. But they do squat in like fancier malls. Like they've cornered that market of like, we have these regal horses.
Yes. So
And
people-
they can't go in a strip mall.
No, I'm not gonna put me next to a crate barrel. Don't put me there at all.
You
That's
can't
not there.
build a pyramid in the middle of a strip mall.
Right.
It needs to go in a fancy mall.
Giant concrete horses, terracotta soldiers.
Yeah.
Paul
Torches.
Torches, everything.
I would venture to say that North Dakota, South Dakota, and Montana do not have a PF Chang's anywhere in the state.
Yeah.
That's
Is that
how
true?
nice. I would bet dollars to donuts.
Yeah, that's probably true. It's probably got to be so expensive to put it up, too. You got to make sure people are going to come.
Plus, those simple people would be terrified of those horses.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It's not very welcoming.
No. It's you have to be a brave person to saunter in there.
I'm surprised they don't put a moat in front of each one.
There should be. There should be a guy with a crossbow wearing a samurai outfit just clocking you with it. As soon as
I think
you're
I'm
rewarded
just-
for your bravery.
I must be those simple people. I just assume I can't go in there. I've never been to one.
That is comfort delicious. They have good seafood there. The whole it's all
I
delicious.
imagine they'd have a good peanut sauce.
They have a great peanut sauce if you want to get one. They also, and I had to do this, they'll mix sauce for you at the table out of vinegar, oil, and chili sauce. You know, I like it spicier. You know, we'll mix up that sauce for you right at the table. It's great. It's a great date
That's
spot.
classy.
Yeah.
Not like cheap like an Applebee's though.
No, you're looking at
They're expensive.
Between $14 and $21.
Maybe that's why I haven't been, because I would just go to a real restaurant.
It is a real restaurant.
It's a real- I
It's
mean-
a casual dining chain.
It's like a nice.
It's sweatpants.
If Nelly combined those two albums and just made one decent album, that's what PF Chang's was.
Yeah. Shout out to Paul Fleming. Shout out to whatever Chang's first name is. I had to learn all that. When you work there, they make you learn the history of the restaurant. If anyone would ever ask. They're like, sometimes people ask about the art. You had to like learn about the art in each of them. You had to learn about the giant
It's
horses.
Paul Fleming and someone else
It's
with the last
Michael
name of
Chang or
Chang.
something like that. Yeah, it started in Phoenix.
Smith worked, our friend Sean worked for one of Phoenix.
Yeah, they were actually.
I mean, good on them, because there's probably no good Chinese food in Phoenix, and they were just like, well, we don't have any Chinese people,
True.
but we found the recipes,
Right.
and we made it.
Right when Google popped up, they're like, we can look up Chinese food restaurants
Yeah.
or food recipes and cook
And it was a big hit.
Also, let me say, having worked in amazingly clean kitchens, and all the ingredients are very fresh.
Okay,
Which I
I'm
was
sold.
surprised by. Like, I would walk in, and they're like, there's all these like half cabbages and everything. It's like pretty legit.
I'm gonna go. And it does look like a good date place. Like they got those big fire pits on the patio
Yeah.
and stuff where you can
Totally.
have a romantic time.
And go have some cocktails. They also have good cocktails. Now, before my next pick, let's take a word from our sponsor. Today's episode of All Fantasy Everything is also brought to you by Squarespace. Make your next move with Squarespace. It's a new year. It's all about setting new goals, starting businesses, changing careers, maybe even launching a creative project. Squarespace gives you a powerful and beautiful online platform to make your next move. To make your next move, you're going to need to make a website. And that could be anything. And it's, it could be a store. Maybe you're making like a web comic. Maybe it's a website for scathing takedowns of corrupt politicians. Whatever it is you want to do, you can use Squarespace to get that. Maybe you want to make an all fantasy everything fan site where it's just like audio clips of me breathing in really heavy while we're talking about delicious food. Maybe that's what you want to do. Whatever you want to do, you can use Squarespace to do it. They have a beautiful award-winning designer templates. It's so easy. They're all in one platform. There's nothing to install or patch or upgrade. And if you do somehow run into some trouble, Squarespace has award-winning 24/7 customer service. They help you set up a unique domain. And it's flexible, again, for any kind of website. If you're a musician, you're a business person, if you're a farmer, and you just want to post pictures of gigantic pumpkins that people aren't going to believe, you can do that too. So start your free trial today at squarespace.com and enter offer code ALLFANTASY to get 10% off your first purchase. Again, go to squarespace.com and enter promo code ALLFANTASY for 10% off your first purchase. And then you use that 10%, to buy like some paint to paint your gigantic pumpkin. Maybe like a fun face on that. And you paint it to look like Jeremy Renner. All right, again, squarespace.com, promo code ALLFANTASY. Back to the episode. And we're back with more All Fantasy Everything. It is time for my fourth and possibly final pick. On account of I have to go to the DMV.
Right, I hear you.
With my possibly final pick, I'm going to take an international.
You god damn it.
Is it going to be something?
House pick.
Oh, okay, alright.
Omelets, maybe?
Pancakes.
Damn it, dude.
IHOP, my friends.
It's the next on the list. It was the
IHOP,
next.
you hop, we'll hop at some point in our lives, ladies and gentlemen. I love the International House of Pancakes. I don't even fuck with pancakes that much. I'm more of a let's get a plate to the table kind of guy. As far as pancakes go.
That's not a thing
Ian got
that
pancakes
exists.
for the table the other night. We went to a diner.
Yes.
I've never seen this happen in
You
my
can do
life. He got pancakes for the table. They were like little mini pancakes, and it was the best call.
I'm an insane person who wants a whole plate of pancakes.
It's
All that
crazy.
matter?
Well, and whipped cream and
Yeah.
sweet fruits.
Do it.
There's so much, but like,
It's not a
you
breakfast.
get that for the table. You have an omelet to sort of cut it with. Now you live.
That's true. If
That's how you do it.
if you got it for the table and
If
not
all
that,
fantasy everything accomplishes anything, it's to normalize pancakes from the table. That's the whole point of this podcast.
You're actually changing the name to Pancakes for the Table.
Pancakes from the table, yeah. I love, in high school, the IHOP near my house had a endless pancake night, which again is big time theme in this episode.
Big time.
And my friend Nate Stoller ate 22 pancakes. And they put his picture on the wall.
Will we ever poop
On the
again?
Never pooped, still hasn't pooped. I went in and tried to do it too, thinking I was going to kick shit. And I ate like 7, and I was like, whoa. And he was a wrestler. So like they can just keep eating forever.
And then, because they don't eat for like a month at a time.
Yeah.
And then the day after they wrestle, they don't look like
It
regular.
seems like that could kill you once it's fully expanded in your stomach.
Yeah. He figured out a way to do it. I don't know where he kept on. Skinny guy.
Jesus.
But I think that's the key, so your stomach can expand. I love international. I love the decor. It's cute. It feels homey. It feels like you're in like a small town anywhere. I like that. I love that it's international, so you get pancakes from all over the world.
My favorite thing is that when one closes, it's never really closed. You put a Chinese restaurant there,
Yeah.
and you're still like, that was an IHOP.
Yeah,
I
an
see
IHOP.
that pointy steeple.
Yes. Pizza Huts are like that too, where there'll be like a
Taco
Mongolian
Bell,
barbecue and
yeah.
a Pizza Hut, and you're like, come on, Mongolian.
But so
What's
is
all of that?
it's always disappointing
Yeah,
when
it
you
is.
see like a closed IHOP and it's like a pokey place or whatever.
Right?
You're like,
Fuck.
"It's rather
Sometimes they're like an
nice."
H&R Block or something. Where you're
That
like,
is
that,
weird.
what
Yeah.
the hell are you doing?
What
Church.
is not where the kitchen was?
There's a strip club in Portland that was so clearly used to be Wendy's. I mean,
There was one in Sunset Freeway that used to be a Mongolian barbecue, and it had like this crazy like
it's hilarious. Like,
smoke roofs, and then it was the Sunset Strip.
sure.
All right, the International House of Pancakes is my fourth pick. John, you want to go for it?
Well, I'm gonna go. You threw me for a loop, and I was planning on taking. I really didn't think that was happening. I'm gonna say Famous Dave's.
I don't know
Never
what
been.
Pancakes is.
Burger place?
You guys don't know what Famous Dave's is?
No.
You don't. You've
Not
never
that
even heard of it.
This
I've
was
heard
called
of it.
Dave's.
Crazy.
I've heard of it, I've never been.
It's a barbecue place. It's just one of those like quirky shit all over the walls. Walk in. It's
Yeah.
like out of Office Space kind of where they wear flair and like
Flair.
Sounds right up my alley.
where you can get like you know, a whole, like a meat platter. I mean, it's fantastic. It's just,
You already sold me
A
when you
great
said shit
barbecue.
on the walls and meat
and
platter.
my favorite thing about it, I love it, because they have all the barbecue sauces on the table, like filled, like 6
Yes,
packs of
this is
barbecue
what we were
sauces.
saying.
Devil's spit, sweet sauce, like all those just sitting at the table.
Spicy.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Really good cornbread.
Those are hot sauce names. Get out of hand sometimes. Devil's spin is not appetizing at all. They'll tell them like the devil's asshole, the devil's torn up asshole.
You try
That's how
it.
they sell you hot sauce.
The
They're all
devil's
like,
red
I wouldn't
bloody
try it.
ass.
Well, that's why they're like the devil's cock and it's made out of swords and he fucks you with it.
What if the waiter had to say that to you? You'd be like, well, give me that. Put that all over my pork.
Satan's huge, knifey cock.
The
You
devil's.
want hot? You want mild, medium, hot, or the devil fucking you to death in front of all the ghosts of all of your
I feel like this is
grandparents?
something you've wanted to say for a couple months, but
It's
haven't had the
crazy.
way to say it.
They go crazy with those hot sauce. They're just so unappetizing. It's like
Devil.
a donkey kicking you in the face and you die from it. And your mom has to watch.
When the devil's there.
And the devil's
For some
The
reason.
devil's there playing Tony Hawk on
The devil,
PlayStation 1.
he's marrying your mom the next day. And you were the only one who could speak up against it. And the devil and the donkey has kicked you to death, so you can't.
Well, the devil's so
Good.
enterprising to have
Habanero.
this whole like side hustle,
Yeah, with a hint of pepper.
just shitting out hot sauce.
That's wild. I thought Famous Dave's was, everywhere.
Regular Dave's.
Yeah.
That's sort of normal.
Now
There's
that's
one of them.
famous.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start calling myself famous comedian.
Famous comedian Amy.
There's one in like
More people
Wallace
listen
and
to her
Oregon.
to you than a famous name.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, when one of these days when we all go to the Midwest together, hopefully it'll be my treat at Famous Dave's.
It's gonna be your treat.
Hopefully I'll be doing, okay by then. So
I think
Speaking
you
of
will.
treats,
There we go.
it's going to be a treat to hear Amy Miller's fourth pick.
Okay, I got really nervous when you said international because I thought you were going down under.
Oh!
Outback
sure.
Steakhouse.
Never go international.
No.
We've been working on at our house one phrase in Australia. It's not noi. Noi? Never!
No,
Noi!
no, ever.
Yeah, noi. Never. Oh, yours is way better. Never!
All I know is it's not a knife,
Noi.
which is so fun to say at Outback.
Yeah, because they give you a knife.
Well, you get a big ass steak,
Let's
and
go,
if they
steak
don't bring
boys.
you a steak knife, it's just you're queued up for the best joke.
I bet they're told every 10th pick.
People are slaying with their friends at Outback and that line.
I've never been to it.
Oh,
My whole life.
that's what I'm seeing. Everyone's heard of the Bloomin' Onion. It's more famous than Dave.
Yeah, way more famous than they.
Listen, Dave didn't do a thing to you.
He
So I
didn't
don't know
make a
why
fucking
you're
blue
dragging
onion, that's for
why
sure.
you dragging his name through the barbecue sauce all of a sudden.
I don't know. Devil's spit.
Yeah.
Devil's machete cock.
Satan's forked tongue. His dick's coming out of it. His tongue is covered in 1,000 dicks, and each of those dicks has a hypodermic needle coming out of the dick hole. It's Chipotle.
And nothing's ever named after God.
I know.
Arguably more powerful. Like
Yeah.
God's semen sounds more spicy than
Right.
the
That sounds
devil's
more of like
spit.
a drizzle you put on a salad.
What is it about the Outback that made you pick it?
Well, junior high boyfriend ended up working at the Outback many years. Yeah, I think it's the Bloomin' Onion. I started with the Bloomin' Onion because I think if you have one item you like cornered the market on,
Yeah.
people go there for that, then you're in.
Uh-huh.
Their other food's great. Yeah, I like a
There's
steak.
probably people that call the Bloomin', like, let's go to the Bloomin'
Let's go to Bloomin'
And
Onion.
they're like, Grandma, it's Outback. Well, whatever, I mean, I know what I want already.
Their shrimp looks good, too.
Oh yeah, and the baked potato, a nice baked potato.
Yeah.
Again, not cheap. More on the $14 to $21 than like
Sure.
PF chains.
14 to 21 PF chain range.
Yeah,
Chain range.
you gotta be slinging some dough to get into an Outback.
Yeah.
But you
We're
know.
making a statement.
It could be a first. It's a first to 15 chain restaurant. You know. It's a casual dining. Business casual dining.
And it's anything that's like a vacation, you know, like oh, we're in the Outback.
Yeah.
It's a
They put,
bumpy
like,
road.
music in there and stuff.
No.
Definitely like kangaroo crossing signs.
No, there's still just American sports playing. That's what everybody wants.
They should play rugga. Rugga. Aussie Wales football.
No,
Noi. No one ever. This was, I mean, we had to do a quick episode of All Fantasy Everything. We only went 4 rounds. Real quick, lightning round, 5th picks. Say like a paragraph about each of them. Amy, your 5th pick.
Flame jumpers, giant portions.
Giant portions, delicious meat.
So much stuff. So giant desserts, big cakes that have like 8 to 10 layers. Flame jumpers is, and they should just call it fat asses because that is why you go. Yeah. But again, the youngest child, I know whatever I get, I'm gonna have leftovers. There won't be leftovers. Someone will eat my leftovers.
Right.
Someone always eats my leftovers. That's okay.
You're in the best place now. You can eat all of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's all for me.
Sean, your final pick.
My final pick's going to be Old Chicago.
Oh, very good.
It's an odd one. We did
Pizza place.
the beer. I would consider this Italian. Pizza Hut's like pizza. Pizza, obviously. Old Chicago to me is more like Italian, and also we got to do the world around the world beer tour or whatever, where you drink like 60 beers and you get your name on the wall. We all thought it was the shit, and they had shuffleboard back in the day, so that was a place where we could like have a night.
Never been to Chicago.
I'm gonna come in and close it all out with the Cheesecake Factory.
I've never been, otherwise I would have picked it.
It's pure insanity. The cheesecake is really good. Everything else is insane. Everything else on it's good, but it's insane. Their menu has like 400 items.
Yeah.
You can get egg rolls, you can get pizza. It's too much.
Crazy.
And for some reason, NBA basketball players love it. Maybe it's because every dish has 14,000 calories.
They get a cheat day once a year.
I
Why
love
not waste it there?
Glendale.
They do. My meal one's great, and they're in the Americana and in the Grove.
Yeah.
Sure.
So just to wrap it all up with the casual dining experience restaurant, Amy Miller, you with the Olive Garden, Cracker Barrel, Johnny Rockets, Outback Steakhouse, and then Flame Jumpers. Sean Jordan, Buffalo Wild Wings, Applebee's, Pizza Hut, Famous Dave's, and Old Chicago Pizza. I went with Red Robin, Tony Roma's, P.F. Chang's, International House of Pancakes, Cheesecake.
I'm sorry.
But as I said, Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah, a little bit of
the proper
everything.
pronunciation. So that is the pick. Thank you for listening to a fairly quick, and I'm sorry about that, but I have to go to the DMV episode of All Fantasy Everything. We'll be back next week with probably another 3-hour one. Thank you for listening. I've been Ian Carmel. Be sure to check out Amy Miller and Sean Jordan, and tune in again next week for another new episode of All Fantasy.
That was a headgum podcast. I'm Tobin Heath, 2-time World Cup winner.
And I'm Kristen Press, 2-time World Cup winner.
And this is the recap show. This is the first time we'll be watching the World Cup in over a decade. We know we're not alone with how we feel about the way people talk about women's sports. We want to be part of the solution.
Having been there many times before ourselves, Tobin and I are going to bring to you what it's like to play in a World Cup, what's really happening behind the scenes, all the good juicy bits.
The recap show will bring you gal culture at its finest. We all know what bro culture is, but what is gal culture? We're here to define it.
We have incredible guests joining us.
You're going to get the strongest perspective, the strongest minds the game has to offer.
This is our narrative, our culture, and we get to tell it our way.
Nobody can speak about the World Cup better than us. You'll hear it all on the recap show. Premiering July 20th, you're going to find the recap show everywhere. YouTube, TikTok, Twitter,
Instagram,
Threads,
and wherever you get your podcast.
welcome to the recap.
Welcome to the show. I love Jake.
This is a headgum podcast.
Welcome to another brand new episode of All Fantasy Everything. You start talking during the intro?
I was gonna open the LaCroix. I was like, wait.
David just said out loud, wait, I shouldn't open this.
Do it again. The podcast that just opened a LaCroix. That's where we are.
A blue LaCroix.
Blue LaCroix. Oh yeah, and unflavored.
Oh, grosser than
No,
normal.
it's gooder.
No, I don't know. I'm not a LaCroix boy.
Not a word.
You're not a LaCroix boy?
Not a LaCroix boy.
Shout out to Joe Mann.
I'm actually a La Quabra.
LaCroix? No.
I don't like that.
Yeah,
That's not how it's pronounced.
Carissa laughed. I got her.
Big waves out there today, brother.
Oh, you're throwing doodle people, you know.
I'm gonna start calling it that.
We're so elected that because we just returned from Canada, which is the home of French Canada.
It's also the home of weird chocolate bars.
Yeah,
I saw
it
that.
is weird chocolate.
I'll tell you this, they taste like great.
Well, they're delicious. Smarties in Canada are chocolate, whereas in the United States of America, they're sour.
Can I say that I like what they're doing up there?
Yeah.
I don't like the sour candy thing.
You don't like sour candy?
I think it's not what candy should be.
I think it should be another thing. Sweets only.
No.
It's only.
Sean is over there biting.
Yeah, no,
What?
you don't like candy that's sour.
No.
That's what I'm getting.
You don't like warheads?
I don't like
Well, they sour for a minute and then
Were
they go
those,
sweet.
were those shockers? Is that what they're called?
Oh, yeah.
See? Those are.
Listen to these names. Warheads. Shockers. No,
Sour Patch Kids even.
Yeah, Sour Patch Kids.
Sour Patch Kids, David. Don't.
Smarties, though.
Smarties is a good name.
We
right,
have a
that's
special
it.
guest in the studio, by the way.
Spicy candy is bomb.
All the way from
Peace.
Portland, Oregon. Graduate of David Douglas High
Peace
School.
out. It's Sour
Lover of
Patch.
sour candy.
Oh.
Lover of sour candy. We have Saint Sue Carmel is in the
Yay.
studio.